Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us, not for a replay. I don't know why it's showing replay. Let's go back live. For the rounds 13 and 14 of season 13. Try saying that fast 3 times. At Jerez, the GP circuit. We've got a does that say 48 degrees, Alan?
Oh, are you joking me?
I'm not. I think. Well, it's at least it's seasonal, right? I mean, they have got a heat wave in Europe at the moment. But that says 48 degrees to me.
It does.
Good grief.
Yes, it did say 48 degrees.
Okay, I just followed whatever they were doing at Fuji in terms of time of day, because we have replaced Fuji, which is on the official calendar, with Jerez, in order to satisfy Mr. Samblees. It was the champion's choice, but he was strong-armed into it by a number of different people, I think. But here we are. Rounds 13 and 14, Alan. If they had a chance to change cars, they should have done it. They haven't. They've all stuck with the cars that they started with. Do you know what that tells me?
Well, hopefully everybody's very happy.
Well, yes, and that the balance of performance, is pretty good at the minute.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that tells me.
Well observed. You would think of something like that. I'd just think, they're really happy because everybody's been driving well, so.
They have, and I've been informed along the way, and I don't know how good my information is. I've been informed along the way that this track will favour the Honda, but at the minute, if I put the manufacturer on there, I'm sure there's a thing where I can put the manufacturer on. Is there? I thought there was. Car logo. Is that the manufacturer?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Okay. So. There are some Hondas that have floated to the top, but you'd expect them to be at the top because the names are McCarthy, Freitas, and Wobbly. Why does that not say kneecaps? I need to change that. Anyway, and then you got a whole load of Hyundais. The only Audi tonight. There's no staff on tonight. How's that? Who knows? That's a shame if he's not here. The only Audi tonight is Demis Titular. Let's find Demis. He is on track. There he is in that Racing Forces car. Alex is on the chat. Where are the rest of... I'm going to give him some hearts back on the chat. And some more from him. Where are the rest of the Racing Forces guys? I.e., where is Freddie? Because this might be the first race since the last time I got his name right in the little timing tower. We've got 17 races tonight, Alan. I think this is going to be a very, very good race. This is a brand new track for us. I've never broadcast it and I've never raced it, but you have.
Yes, Pete. Indeed, I was here last night in my Mazda, and what a hurling time I had. So what you said about the temperature was interesting. It was warm last night, and as a consequence, people were finding it rather slippy.
Yeah.
And your friend of mine and friend to the series, young Jason,
oh yeah,
he was having many Kylie moments around here last night.
Really?
Yes, this is that kind of track. It's got built-in danger because the delicious nature of the corners makes you want to try and push on, and there's some wicked camber, some wicked gradient shifts. It's just an all-round feast of flowing fast motoring.
Well, let's have a look at that, because Spencer's coming towards the end of the lap here. He's got a bit of tow in the form of whoever that is in front of him. It could be a number of cars. We've got a few Elantras that are privateers, and they're in the council colours. So we fire it here towards the first turn, which is Curva 1992, I think, on the moto track. Then you got Michelin, which is a fairly sharp right-hander, isn't it? You've got to drop your gears for that one. Then you've got this coasting third gear, accelerating up the hill through turn 4, which is this one. Lots and lots of power going up here. You've not got a particularly heavy braking zone here. This is going to be a coast and let the car run through. I don't remember what this is called. Curva to something or curve or something. Then you've got, I always remember this turn because it's called dry bag. You've got to shed a ton of speed to get into this one. Even on a MotoGP bike, they have to get rid of everything that they had, and then he'll be back on the gas using all of the track. Hopefully he didn't get an off track there. I have no idea. Alan will tell us about off track shortly. Turn 7 is super fast, flat out. 8 off the gas, let it coast, touch your gas. I'm just going off what I've seen MotoGP cars do. And then into Angel Corner, Angel number 9, something like that. Or No Angel Corner, No Angel. And then into turn 10. Then you head down this short stretch, and you've got this chicane on this version of the track. This is the GP version, not the Moto version. Through the chicane there, dropping all your speed off, and then up through the acceleration. Turn 12 is almost not a turn, it's just a kink in the track. And then you fire it down towards this hellish hairpin, and he's gone to pits. And he's gone onto the grass, and he's gone back on the track. And that was ungraceful at the best. Spencer McCarthy. That was a pretty good lap though, really, wasn't it? Until he bailed on the last bit.
Yeah, and he made that look easy, but this to keep you, it's such a flowing track. You've got to keep the gas on. You've got to keep your speed up. It really flows, but some of the corners are really deceiving and tighten up, don't they? And they catch you out. And there's some you don't want to think there's first gear corners out there, but there's a couple where you're in first going around some of these, and because they tighten up, and it's a really great circuit.
It is.
I absolutely loved it.
Did you do any pit stops in your race?
Not by intention.
Not by choice, but by necessity. But from what I just saw of what Spencer did, pit lane entry is a bit tasty. It's very sharp. Yeah. So we should look towards that in the intermission between these two races. So we have how long is it? Is it 20 minutes or 30 minutes? I can't remember. I've got all my series.
20 minutes. We're 20 minutes, then 40 minutes.
Oh, thank you very much, my dear. And in the feature race that follows, the sprint race, we have a pit stop requirement, because I don't think anybody's managed to no stop any of these races this season. And that was the intent when we started. Oh, right. Freddie is moving houses. So the one time I get his name right in the timing tower, he's not here. So Demis is running solo. Thank you, Alex. And David Ayres says there seems to be a lot of all four wheels over the white line into corners. Is 1X's and rejoins an issue, Alan?
Well, now that's interesting, because they were taking huge amounts of the green last night and running well wide of the track, and people were getting away with it. I was a bit nervous about doing it, but even I started to let the car go a little bit more, and it really helps with the entry to the corners when you get wide.
Right.
Yeah, it really does help. You can see why it's tempting people to go wide, but I don't think it was causing people much of an issue. I was having issues with off tracks, but I was probably the most conservative out there. But I don't think in general people were picking up off tracks for doing this. See that, really right over, and no off track for it.
Okay. Well, this session is about to get spat out because it's a heat session, so you don't get to finish anything. And then we're going to go to qualifying shortly. We've got 15 minutes of that. That question, by the way, was from David Ayres, and he knows. See what I did there? What he's talking about. So anyway, this is a point of contention between myself and Clyde. So Clyde is of the opinion that the white lines are the Bible. You should never cross them, otherwise they will cross you. I think that sim racing should reflect the real world. And in the real world, we do what Miguel's doing there. We use all of the available adhesive surface, I'm going to call it, in order to race on. And therefore, in the real world, you get drivers not doing exactly that he's doing right now, but a version of it. You use as much of the track as is available to you to get the optimal advantage through the corner. And yes, people get warned for track limits and such, but ultimately, those extra bits of track are there in order to make the most of it as everybody piles out of the pits for qualifying, Alan.
Yes.
What a rabble.
It really does. Being wide on the entrance to these corners really helps, because they're very wide sweeping corners, Pete, and it really helps getting out wide. People will do it, and I wasn't getting penalised.
Right,
this is going to be great tonight, honestly. We had great racing last night. It's fast, but you've got to pay attention to the track as well. It will have you round if you're not careful. Not terribly dangerous in that regard, because there's plenty of runoff room, as you can see.
Yeah.
You're not going to go off and straight into a wall. You'd be unlucky to get a brutal damage to your car.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose your place, and you're not going to get it back.
Well, it's between the devil and the deep blue sea, isn't it? You can either disappear off for a countryside excursion and lose huge amounts of places, or you can smash it into a wall and lose even more. And that's the two options you're offered with different tracks, isn't it? There's never anything in between. There's never you can off track it a little bit. A little bit on some tracks is a lot, and a lot on some tracks is a little bit. So you balance it off. Right, where are we up to here? We need to look at some of the standings. So before I get to the standings, obviously don't forget there's SRL's league. I'll just post that on the screen. They race on Friday nights. I don't know whether their season is now over or not. Somebody on the chat will tell me. But they also race TCRs, but on Friday. Also on a Friday is our own series of Clio Cup. You saw the VT for that series on the intro. We're going to look now towards our own series, the TCRs, and the current standings. So Big Mig is out in front. We should be using the right-hand column, but I don't know whether I clicked the right button the other day. Don't think I did because everybody's out of sequence on the right-hand column. So we'll continue with the left-hand one. Miguel Freitas leads the way, and he would do anyway. He's on 679 points with his drop score, because we are now taking drop scores into account. Spencer is behind him, and not very far behind either. Only 36 points separates Spencer from the top spot. I'm looking down the standings, and I'm looking for a Spencer McCarthy. I'm finding him, so that's going to keep going throughout this race. And then there's a bit of a big jump to third place Sam Blease. He had some rough races at the very start, hence the massive difference between his total points and his drop score points. Then there is Gary Craig, who did the same thing last season, Alan.
He did.
Finished high with low incidents, kept his nose out of other people's business, and sailed home. Nearly won the thing, nearly won the league.
Tremendous performance, and he's just quietly sitting there, isn't he?
Yep, he is, stealthing it. Wobbly kneecaps, I've forgotten what he sounds like because we've not had him in the booth for so long. He's on 516 points, 30 points behind Gary Craig. He's fast, but he's crashy, and he does a lot of rage quitting. Then we've got Freddie, who's going to lose a bag full of positions, I think, because Jamie Wilson's only 33 points behind him with a drop score. Ahead of Jamie, though, really, is Carl Hardy, and also Adam Wright. So I think both of them having decent nights will have an effect on the scores significantly, with Freddie not racing. Then we've got Demis Cigcilar in 9th, but he probably is 9th actually. But Stefan, who's not here, is only 1 point behind him at the moment. And that about rounds out the top 10. Shame to miss Stefan tonight. His points are going to suffer. Yeah.
And also Freddie, that's a real shame, because he's been really prominent, hasn't he, in the last few weeks. He's been a bit of a star driver.
Yeah, he's a great driver, and he's got to move house at some point in his life, and this is when he's doing it. So, fair enough. Alex is telling me to accept cookies. Can't, because it's the computer doing the access, so the computer can't say yes. Let's see the team standings. Impulse romping away with it, 1335 over 1028 from BSTV, who are doing a great job, to be fair. And then Hydra Race, Geodesic Racing, and their sister team of White are pretty much on the same score. And then Racing Forces bring out the top 5 with 932 points. But Impulse Racing, very dominant in this series at the minute. It will really...
BSTV doing great OP, aren't they?
They are. I think Hydra Race, Geodesic, in one or both of their forms, would be very competitive with Impulse if Sam and Spencer had been in the same team right from the very start. I think there's a lot to be said for having those two in the same team. As it is, they've split themselves up into two different teams, which means that we get great racing, of course. Let's have a look at Driver of the Meeting, the most coveted title in the world for the TCRs. When I get into the V8 one on Saturday, I'll be saying the same thing in there. Jamie Wilson leads the way on 3 points. And then we've got 3 people in second, Lee, Miguel and Freddie. And then 3 people in third, or fifth, depending on how you view that. Gary, Stefan, and Stephen. And then probably more coveted than that, and certainly more worthy of the races, is Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award. Currently led by Jamie Jeffrey, who I don't see. Oh no, he is. He's joined. Yeah, he's at the bottom. He's not qualifying. That's why I can't see him. He has what's it? 0.01199 of an incident per turn, which is pretty good. And then Fiona is in second. That's brilliant, isn't it? Done more laps than Jamie by a cool 331. But overall, has had a little bit more crashiness to her. And then Gary Craig, who we were mentioning before, third in this one. Done more laps than both of them. Done more incidents, of course, but diluted. So in third place at the moment. And really, if he carries on the same way he went last season, he could challenge for more than one title here, couldn't he?
Just what I was thinking is he's quietly sitting there as well, but great to see Fee doing so well. But, you know, Jamie drives hard and he's in the action so often. So, you know, kudos to him for leading that.
Yes, absolutely. And then right now, that was bumpy going through the chicane there, wasn't it? Wobbly is provisionally on pole. He's got 6 minutes to maintain that. His own teammate, Miguel, Big Mig, who he's scared of, we know this to be true, is currently provisionally second and has bailed on the lap he's on and trying to get a decent tow from Sam Blees. That's a bit naughty. But take your advantages wherever you can. And then Stephen Walker. Oh, sorry, it's Stephen Walker that's in front. I'm getting the Veloster in white geodesic with a yellow banner. All mixed up here. That's Stephen Walker who's in third and giving Miguel a tow. And you won't want to be doing that because Sam Blees, his own teammate, is just back here, not far behind, getting his own tow from Gary. Gary's not featuring very highly at the moment. He's down in 9th. That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that will stick.
Right, okay. Well, I hope not, because it's BSTV. Not that biased, and he's my old teammate.
I don't think he's not keeping up. Some of these drivers might not be comfortable with this track. They might not be familiar with it. You know, it is a track that hasn't been raced much, and it's a fantastic circuit, but you know, there might be a bit of unfamiliarity out there, and it's quite challenging.
Oh, this even from that little run around we had on board with can't remember Spencer. You can see the challenging nature of it. Somebody in the chat when Tony was asking for a setup, if anybody had one late in the day for the Elantra. I don't know whether he ever got one, but the advice was use a Silverstone one, and that's not such a bad idea. The straights and the turns, I think it was Alex Sevillano later. It's good advice that. In fact, Alex and Russell are having their own little moment on the chat at the moment. Russell Cowell is on the chat, which means one thing, doesn't it?
Yes.
Please wait, we're racing.
Oh yeah.
Good evening to Russell.
Good evening to Russell. Who else have I missed? Nobody else. Right, so there we go. Why is Wobbly hitting 52s when more than 50% is doing 54s? I think that's a grip hack or a speed hack. We all know that there's no way that Wobbly can do that. Big Mig is the star of Impulse. Wobbly's new friend, and all his new friends down at Impulse Racing. Macros says flashy on the chat.
Is our friend Matt there by any chance?
Yeah. Hoping to be back on the grid for next season, says David Ayres. He reckons his PC issues have been resolved. If he has, then that's brilliant, because that must have been so frustrating for him. I've had issues like that in the past as well, and thankfully I got over my connectivity nonsense computer issues, and I was less crashy on Friday last than in previous races, so in the Clios that is.
David's been racing with us in the Clios on Monday night, and he's been absolutely storming in the Clios.
Yeah,
really driving
yes,
outstanding. And and he's not been having computer issues of late.
No.
Which, as you say, is fantastic news because it's terribly frustrating for him, winding him up something awful, and everybody else as well, because you just don't want to see people who are so committed to this to suffer in that way.
Yeah, and Alex is trying to sell him and Russell the rest of the season because Alex is absolutely right, 50% off now to get you to the end of the season, halfway through, therefore half the price of the membership. We've got a few in here tonight, one of which you'll know, Alan, Michael Seal.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, indeed, I do know Michael. And he tries to result quite often these days. When he's got time, it's nice to see him on the track because, you know, he's involved in motorsport in real life and he does a lot of travelling around and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
he does. And that was one of his comments when he was signing up, to be honest. Russell says he might be back next season if his self-gratification injury has gone away. We know that he had carpal tunnel, and we know how you get that as well, Russell. Just saying.
Well, I hope he's healing well because, yeah, carpal tunnel's no fun now, and I do hope he's healing well because we miss Russell, don't we?
Yes, we do, yeah. Not sure if there is some limitation on your end, but you guys need to look into improving the bit rate a little bit. It's very blurry. Don't think it's that. I've got a gigabyte's worth of internet to play from. I don't know. Buffering sometimes does it, but I mean, I'm looking at it now and I can't do anything but agree with you. Let's just see. David has too much chicken choking. Yes. Right, so I don't know what else I can do about the quality of the stream right now. It's about as clean as it's going to be. Let's see what else we can focus on. Right, so same as we were. Wobbly's got the premium time of 152.96. He's head and shoulders even above his own teammate at the moment. Big Mig, who's got a 154.088. Turn off.
It's a fine time, and you know, it doesn't surprise me because this circuit he's got great touch as Wobbly. He's got a great feel around the circuit, and this track will respond to that kind of a driver.
Yeah, they're still talking about Russell having a great touch of a different type on the chat. And David Ayres wants me to turn off a particular hub. I would, but I've got a 24-hour lifelong membership. I'm not going to waste it. Right, so Tony Walker back with us as well this time round.
Drove very well last week, did he not?
He did very well, actually. Splendid performance. And Roger Morton has signed up again. I don't know whether he'll race. Hopefully he does. Don't think you can do it right now. Maybe for the next one, maybe around 20 megabytes, 1080. I'm on 1440 with 60, if that helps anybody. So let's see. I've got Gary Craig around at the weekend because we're going to Croft to watch the touring cars. So whatever he can do to my PC, he will do. 24-hour membership to the hub. It's expensive, sadly. But there you go. You've just got to pay these things, haven't you? Everybody's left the track, as you can see, because there's less names in bold. That's because it's a heat qualifying. So if you're not on a hot lap now, you're not going to be. In 3 seconds, it's going to chin you out of the session. Just like that, funnily enough. As if by magic. So, let's have a look at tonight's grid. For round 13, Wobbly is your poleman on a 152.865 for Impulse Racing. His teammate, Miguel Freitas, is in second. Stephen Walker, the luckiest Wookiee in Underpants World, goes off third. Fourth is Sam Blees for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. Spencer McCarthy, so that's a lockout for row 2 for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing White. Spencer for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing goes off 5th. Gary Craig off 6th for BSTV. Lee Bowden off 7th for Safeguard by Result. Tony Walker off 8th, that's good. 9th will be Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result. Michael Seal in his first race back with us, 10th for Result Clothing. Demis Tikchalar off 11th for Hydra Race Racing Forces, the only one of them tonight. and the only Audi tonight. 12th will be Jamie Jeffrey for CCR. I need to press one of these buttons, and I've just pressed the wrong one. There we go. 13th will be Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. 14th will be Matt Flannery for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Alejandro Advani will go off 15th. Fiona Siddons for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield will go off 16th. 17th will be JB Dejoux. And that's everybody. So, let me find a camera.
Interesting.
Find a camera worthy of this start. It may be this one. It may be this one.
We've got Impulse at the front.
Yeah.
We've got 2 lockouts, haven't we, by 2 teams? This is...
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I missed that, yeah. Impulse on the front row. Geodesic Racing White on the second row. I'm sure Gary would have liked Adam to be next to him on the third row. But Adam's not here tonight either. It's a busy old week.
Green.
And we go. Ooh, there's a car not moved. That's Michael's seal. He's been overtaken cleanly by everybody, which is a relief.
Jamie hopped out there.
He did.
And, somebody got a poor start when Michael had a poor start.
Yeah. I mean, it's his first race back, so fair enough.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's hard getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, he's a sensible driver as well. It's very sensible.
That's Gary Craig he was having a look around the outside of Spencer and then the inside of Spencer. Somebody going slow behind that. I think that's Tony Walker. He's about to get Tigchalard into turn 4 here. Oh, no, he's not. Demis thought better of it. There's more going on back here, look. And that is Alejandro. Oh, that is a very, very wide Matt Flannery. And he's about to get overtaken by Fee. Fee's on the preferred line here.
They need to watch the cold tyres on this place.
Fee's done a great job there. That was an amazing overtake. Well done. Jamie Jeffrey on the inside of Demis. That's nice. Is he going to keep that? Because, yes, he is. I thought the next turn was right for some reason. Don't know why. And Jamie Wilson is having a good look at Demis as well at the moment. No change right at the front. Oh, yes, there is. So Sam Blease is ahead of his teammate. Oh, where's Fiona? Fiona's just coughed up all the positions that she'd gained.
So simple though, Pete. Honestly, this can be. You feel you're in the flow and you go in, but it can really catch you out, and just not a race ender or a ruiner, but it can really just do enough damage so you can lose your place, lose a few places, get dishevelled.
Yep. So Jamie Wilson not managed to overcome Demis Tigchalard, but he's got a good run here. Oh, that's not Jamie, that's why. There we go. He's got a good run leading up to this first turn here, which is quite a sharp stop, really. Taking a nice wide line, turned in, not doing it right now. Someone who might be is Jamie Jeffrey. That door was slammed shut by Tony Walker. Nice bit of driving there. Reappeared in our screens at the very last second. Up front here, everybody's kind of as it was. Spencer McCarthy testing the grass, Alan.
Well, he needs to be careful.
Yes, he does. Oh, who's that? There's Tokyo Wilson there. getting a full-on drift.
Well, I'm expecting he's going to be pushing on because he was pretty far down the grid, I think, for Jamie.
Yeah.
By normal standards.
I would say so, yeah. Michael Seal being held out to dry there by Matt.
This caused, my word, this track was a handful of little Mazda, and one of these powerful front-wheel drive cars.
Yep.
Turning into these corners is going to be delicious, but oh dear, demanding.
Definitely. What's going on back here? Michael Steele closing back in again on Matt Flannery. Up at the front. Wobbly is starting to get away. His teammate, Big Mig, is being first man of defence, Alan. It's odd that he's not fast.
Yes, I mean, what it is with this 20-minute race, Pete. There's no holding back. It's straight, absolutely flat out from the get-go. I've never seen anybody hold back for a fraction of a second, so I don't think there'll be any strategy or tactics involved in track positions, everybody will be going as fast as they possibly can.
Oh, without a doubt. And one thing that we've not spoken about really is the fact that this is going to be a brand new track to a lot of these racers. There's not many of them, I wouldn't have thought, that are going to have raced on it before. It's not featured in the TCR official league yet.
Half our drivers last night had to go and buy the track.
Exactly. It'll be no different. It's probably
Yeah, no.
Big Mig has bought it today, as probably as Sambly's Stephen Walker and a whole bag full of others. Let's go on board here while nobody else is vying for position. I'm sure I just clicked that, didn't I?
You see how everybody feeds out onto the green. Just the nature of the track and the corners feeds you out onto these wide sections of the track, and it just helps with the turning in.
Yeah.
You've got these long apexes. Yeah. And you can see just the natural flow of the circuit just pushes you wide.
And it does
And
look like
white out, ride out easy.
yeah, it does look like the Veloster is at least competitive in a balanced approach with the Honda.
Yeah.
two
Well, you were
Hondas
saying
aren't
about the
split.
BOP, and no changes in the cars. That's the first time that I can remember. So normally there's a few people who change in the mid-season, aren't they?
Yes.
Up there, and so nobody's doing that. It's
No,
significant.
nobody's done it. Nobody's done it. They had one opportunity, and nobody took it up. So, what's that from David Ayres? I misread that then. I thought it read, it looks like Lee and Carl are being gaped by Gary. I thought we were still on about a certain hub, I don't know. It's annoying to say it. Wobbly is fast, isn't he? It is annoying to say it, yeah, so don't. Wobbly needs his tyres letting down. If that was a feature, I'd be doing it. I think Wobbly will crash. I can't agree more. Cheers, Alex.
It's just done the fastest lap there.
Yeah, that's it's
He's the devil, isn't he? Honestly.
precedent to a fall, really, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
He's clearly enjoying the circuit.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of these guys will be. I can't imagine that this isn't anything but a lot of fun in these cars. It's smooth, it's wide, it flows like the Nile.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a really nice track. It's great to watch on MotoGP, to be fair.
Certainly is. I think that's probably most of our experience of it, watching Valentino hurtling around here.
Exactly, yeah. Casey Stoner for me was the one with super style.
Well, yes.
I know that.
Especially after his brain removal operation.
Well, yes, absolutely. You've got to have that before you can get on a bike in MotoGP. You've got to be a certain kind of psycho in order to do that.
Certainly have. Makes it fun for us then.
Yeah. I don't think to just allay Alex's concerns, I don't think that Demis is struggling. I think he's doing very well in the only Audi in the field. Everybody else gets to share some setups. Adam Wright, go Wobbly, he's my hero, the greatest, awesome, amazing. Is he paying you money? Because that's not what you normally say. Wobbly's here, let's focus on him. He's not under nearly enough pressure that I'd like in order for him to crash. Let's see, is he panicking? Is he doing anything naughty? He's certainly setting up the lighting tower. Lighting up the timing tower, I should have said. Been a long day. Adam's possessed, yes, by some version of the devil.
Wasn't JB last? He's got in front of Fee now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, that happened earlier.
Did it?
It was Fee's one and only off track that put her about 3 seconds back in it.
That's right, I remember. Well, it's all happening at the back. There's plenty of talent at the rear of this field, that's for sure.
Very much so, yeah. And we're going to join it now because these three have got together. This is Matt Flannery, Michael Seal and JB. No, it's not. It's Alejandro, Matt Flannery and Michael Seal. Got the wrong 3 names. JB's
cozy.
Yeah, JB's been off track, Michael Seal's been off track, and Fiona's been off track so far in this race. But that's it. That suggests to me that Jerez is a track that is manageable, if that makes sense. Only 3 people have had excursions.
Well, what I can say was last night, Pete.
Yeah.
it responded to the more skillful drivers in the league, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They were pouring on some very quick laps, and it was just that judgment of line and pace, and that bit of extra skill that the top jockeys have got. It really paid off for them last night. And to be honest, nearly all of these are such high quality drivers. They're going to relish this and drive to the limits of the track, and they're putting in fantastic times. Look, these are really good laps. If you can do a 153 around here, that's travelling. This is a long circuit.
It is, yeah. We've got quite a few battles on track at the minute. We've got, well, the closest one is the one behind this, which is Demis and Jamie. Jamie doing everything he can, look, to get past, as is Jamie Jeffrey in the battle ahead. Is Jamie going to manage it? No, he's not. Demis wraps that Audi round the corner in beautiful fashion. Matt Flannery under bags of pressure now from, putting bags of pressure on Alejandro. Good grief. Michael Seal late on the brakes. He's managed to get away with that one. That was close though. I think his aura. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. His aura got a bit too close there.
And JB's chasing them, of course. So while these are scrapping, this might be a bit of a chance for JB to catch up.
Yes, definitely. This group, rather. So this is Big Mig, followed by Sam Blees, followed by Stephen Walker, then Spencer, then Gary. They're all in contention for all those lovely podium positions, and we expect Wobbly to throw it off the track at any point because, let's see what happens there.
He's been very good in these short 20-metre races. I think he's really performed very, very well.
Yeah, but he's not got the talent for the long ones, so has he, Wobbly? He just kind of flings it away and rage quits and, does Wobbly stuff.
Well, he gets points for this, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And they've been outstanding, haven't they, in looking at the qualifying.
Oh, yeah.
Simple team, they've really brought it with them.
One lap talent for Wobbly, I think that's called. Yeah, one lap talent. Right, towards the end of the lap here, Jamie Wilson still trying to work an opportunity around Demis Titular at the moment. Behind is all this. So Matt Flannery looks like he's got this done because from an unknowing fool's perspective, it looked like Alejandro had a slowdown, but I think he just outbraked himself into that last turn.
It's a wicked little left-hander, and if you can get on the inside of somebody there, I think Michael was trying to if you can get on the inside, you can actually pull away and make a place there.
Yeah.
Alex. But also, we've got the chicane on this version. We've got the
Yes.
joint GP version with the chicane, which is a wicked chicane.
It is. It's very sharp, it has to be said.
It really is, and we were on the moto version last night and swooped around there, which was, I would say, a bit more fun because that chicane is hard work. You're going fast on that straight, and you've got to really work the car to get through it smoothly. And it's tight through that section there back onto the straight.
Yeah, and Alex is very much selling the Racing Forces performance. Apparently Demis is defending like a lion, which is probably one of the best adjectives I could have for defending.
It certainly is. Yes, that's very lion-esque, I would suggest. He's doing well because it's not easy to keep these chaps behind you.
No, it's not. Michael Seale's caught up with Alejandro now, so let's see what he can manage there.
Having said that, Pete. Whoa,
Go on. Sorry, what were you going to say?
It looks like a wide track, but I think actually the racing line is fairly narrow, just the dictates of the track.
Yeah, and yes, there's a very thin racing line, is what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've not got any opportunity to make any advantage of the width that you've got available to you. It might be 20 cars wide, it doesn't matter. You've only got 1.5 cars worth of racing line.
That's the thing, because that's just the nature of the way these corners are. You won't get around them quick side by side. There's only one line.
And if anybody's going to criticise me for not showing the top guys, then tough. All the action, it really is back here. And these guys are fighting it out tooth and nail. Demis has done a good job getting a gap on Jamie there. I think that Elantra is struggling, you know. The back end of Jamie's Elantra and Alejandro's, it's wagging on lots of corners. That's got to be heating up those rear tyres and making the smooth transition from brake to gas very difficult.
Yes, well, we know the Elantra is very good with the curves, but these aren't bad curves, you know. These aren't.
They're pretty flat, aren't they? They have to be, because if you had a big steep curve for a MotoGP bike, you'd end up with quite a few body bags. JB Dejoux would be in big business.
Yeah, and you know, there's good grip. You know, the green strips, we've seen them on there a lot, and the blue, but there's good grip on them, Pete. It's not like you're off the surface.
Michael Seal might send it here in the best possible term. That was lovely.
Oh, wasn't that sweet? Goodness,
he set that up from a long way back. It wasn't a send. It was
intelligent driver.
Yeah, very intelligent. Yeah. We often see this, real life drivers being able to transition that education into the sim world. Time difference between the cars rule. Yeah, can do that. I think it's this one. There you go. See, I can do it.
Wow, you have the power.
I think that's the same
JB's closed him in, like you said. Yeah, these have scrapped, and JB's closing that gap.
Where's that? Wilson? No, Jeffrey. Oh, Michael Seal.
Oh,
Tokyo Seal. Apparently, Alex was quoting Alonso at Hungaroring 2022, defending like a lion. In that case, that's a cool one, because I like Alonso. I think he's a brilliant driver. And Woodward signed, sealed with a capital S, sent and delivered, and returned to sender. Brilliant. Love it. So, Tony Walker, I mean, salute to that boy. He's kept one of our most tenacious racers behind him for quite a long time now. Jamie Jeffrey is clearly looking for all sorts of opportunities and not finding them. So, nice clean racing from Tony Walker.
Yes, he drove very well last week. Perhaps I don't know, maybe he's inspired because he's been driving very well, and you don't hold people like Jamie back.
No. The other Jamie has now found himself one Demis titular again. Wonder if he can do anything with a bit of a run-up.
Well, it's the only thing you can do, isn't it? It's tough to overtake.
And that Audi's good from a standing start. And a lot of these are slow corners onto very fast straights, and you can see that Audi's got the legs on the Elantra there.
A lot of torque, hasn't it, that car?
Yeah.
Liking that.
It's a good point just made, actually. The two safeguard cars of Lee and Carl. Is Carl going to be in view? There they are. They've got a massive challenge ahead now. They're 5 seconds away from Gary Craig, who's the rear gunner for the top group. And when I say the top group, really, if I put the battle box up, you know, it's only counting him and Spencer at the moment, because there's 1.5 seconds from Spencer forward to Stephen Walker there, and then this is getting a bit more hot here with Sam Blease and Miguel. This is the nearest, or closest rather, that Sam has been to Miguel all race. That's what 0.3 of a second looks like. And I keep one eye open on Jamie Jeffrey, because he's looking pretty racy now behind Tony Walker.
No, good drive by Tony to keep Jamie behind him, that's for sure.
Epic, yeah. Jamie's no slouch.
You know, these guys are going hard at it. The thing is, you can see how hard they're driving. They're really going at it. It's not like this, they're hanging around. They're really trying hard to get by each other, but the pace is so fast.
Yep, I'm trying to see. if we will witness Barney waving his flag on this lap. I think we probably shall. There it is.
Yes,
White
there
flag.
it is.
This is 1 lap to go, folks. Oh, and we've got Tony Walker here, who's under bags of pressure now. In fact, he's had to give it up.
Second.
Yeah, we're going to watch that again. They've got 5 battles have just appeared on track, but we've got to watch this. So we've got Miguel under pressure. Oh, he's overcooked it into the last turn. Oh, I bet he's going to be annoyed.
Small error like that, and it's cost him.
Yep, that's all it was, a tiny little error. And Michael Seal now very much pressuring Matt Flannery at the very front. Sam Blease, he's only got this lap to do it, so whatever he's going to do, he needs to do it right now.
Well, you know, this is a bit of a credit to how well Miguel's been defending there, because Sam will have been trying to get by him, and you know he's a hard man to resist, but the pace of Miguel is just enough to keep him rearward.
Yes. Miguel getting a bit out of shape, if I'm being honest. Oh, this is getting very close in many places now. This is going to be a brilliant end to this race. I can smell it.
Well, Gary harassing Spencer.
Yeah, and doing a brilliant job of it as well. I don't think the Sam one is going to boil too much because... oh, now we've got Michael Seal putting pressure on further back. Oh, don't know where to look. Let's look at this one. Oh, my God. Oh, this is into the last corner. This is the last corner. So Wobbly's run off with this one. He's 2.9 seconds ahead of these guys. Can he get a cutback? No, he can't. So we're going to move backwards.
Wow.
No, we're not. We're going to stay with this as Miguel flashes lights over the line. Good race. Good race.
Fantastic racing.
That was great.
What
That
a
really
thing.
was good.
Ah,
It's not over because Michael Seal, that's that little kink that I told you about. And he's having a good look on all sides of Matt Flannery's car there. Oh, this is Honda on Honda, and it's made for a good race.
that last corner's sorting them out beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Because you know it's a place where you can just dive in and risk an attack. Just at the last, yeah. Well, that was great racing. That last lap fetched out the best of all these guys. They all went at it absolutely hammering Tom. Fantastic.
That was absolutely sensational. What an amazing and knackering for me end to the race.
Yeah,
Good
and here comes
grief.
Pete. Well done, Fiona.
Yeah, lead lap again. Not far off the pace, to be fair.
No, but I was just a fraction off. But you know, these guys are so relentless with their fast lapping.
They really are, yeah. So let's have a look at the results for round 13 here at Jerez. Wobbly took away the maximum points as winner of round 13 for Impulse Racing. His teammate Miguel managed to hold off Sam Blease for second place. Third, Sam Blease, obviously, for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White, with his own teammate Stephen Lucky Wookie Walker, no longer a Spectre driver, in fourth. Spencer McCarthy was fifth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Gary Craig was sixth for BSTV, but did a great job of trying to get fifth. Lee Bowden, seventh for Safeguard, with his teammate behind him, Carl Hardy. Everybody's paired up, aren't they? Jamie Jeffrey eventually did get past Tony Walker. We saw that with a Tony Walker mistake in 10th. Demis Tigtular in 11th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Jamie Wilson in 12th for Team Chimera. Couldn't do anything about Demis. Matt Flannery in 13th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Michael Seal in 14th for Result Clothing. Alejandro Advani in 15th. JB DeJu in 16th for BSTV Esports Blue. And then Fiona Siddons brought home 17th place this evening in round 13. So, as exhausted as I am, we shall look towards this feature race, which will feature a pit stop, Sir Alan, which is going to sort them out, I think.
It is certainly going to break up any flow that they're going to have, and
yeah,
it will change. It always does change the race.
And you've got to remember, for a lot... Ooh, Sam. Cold tyres, sideways. For a lot of these races, this is going to be the first time they've faced this track. in any amount of anger. Pit stops will be completely new to them, really. It's a brand new track to the series, to the service. Sorry, and there is pit lane. It's
It's a bit wicked.
It's a very wicked one, actually. There was someone following in then. Who was that? Spencer's around there. Stephen Walker's around here. So we'll go on board with Stephen. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to practice a pit stop here. So, where is he on track? Heading down. He's got the... Oh, he's into the chicane, right, okay. So, curb on the left. Curb on the right, curb on the left. Round through this kink of a corner. Then you've got another one. And then, pit lane entry is here on the left somewhere. There you go, he fires it straight in. Shed the speed as fast as you can. That's tight, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and then the cones are there, right? We need to remember that. Cones are there, so anybody getting a speeding penalty, that's where it'll be. Alex wants... Oh, no, yeah, Alex wants... Who is that? Somebody said they wanted a refund because... Oh, it was Ant, yeah. Wobbly failed to crash. I think we can guarantee it for the second race. He's not made 2 races all season. You can grow fonder of a Honda, says Russell Cowell. I think there's a few people getting fonder, of a Honda since this one.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
Yeah, excuse me for a minute, please. Nature calls.
Of course, nature's always a good reason to be called away. Right, so Tony Walker on screen did a brilliant job. Yeah, we need some more likes, I think. That'd be nice. How many people are watching at the minute versus... We've got 10 watching and only 4 likes. Oh, 5. Thank you for listening. Love it. I'm going to bash at some of the hearts there. There we go. I'm not talking about the hub still. Right then. Who else? Demis Tigchular. He did a great job of defending against Jamie Wilson. Didn't have... anything for Jamie Jeffrey. Don't like that because of the sound. What's that? Don't like what because of the sound?
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
I don't know. I'm just pressing buttons now. Right, who else is on? There's only Demis and Tony on track at the moment. I'm guessing Tony is going to pit stop. Yes, he does. He can take a wider entry into that. We saw that from whoever we were on board with before. Where's the dislike button? There is a dislike button. It's just to the right of the like button. There's no... no publicity is bad publicity, or bad publicity is good publicity, or one of those things is true. It's been a long day. Right, we are at the end of warm-up now, and we are gridding. So let's have a look at this one. So we reverse top 12. So Jamie Wilson is your pole man, and next to him is Demis Tigchular. Then Tony Walker is on the second row with Jamie Jeffrey next to him. Carl Hardry, row 3, with Lee Bowden next to him. Gary Craig, row 4, with Spencer next to him. Stephen Walker, row 5, with Sam Blees next to him. Miguel, row 6, with Wobbly, last time's winner, next to him. Where's the button I need to press? There it is. Matt Flannery is in 13th. Michael Seal is in 14th. Alejandro is in 15th. 16th will be JB. And Fiona will bring up the back of the field and might benefit from some of these guys. I wonder if Michael Seal's got his start sorted out. Let's go to a different camera because we're going to need something a bit more like this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that looks splendid, doesn't it?
And lights are coming on already. Everybody was onto the grid very quickly. I've left the intervals exactly as David wanted them before.
Green flag.
Here we go. Right, that was a good start from Demis. He's away. Jamie Wilson got a typically Chimera start. 3 wide.
Both made a good start off the front of the grid there. That was fantastic by both of them, and just what they needed.
Yeah, that's a bit crowded back here, but the front seems pretty clean.
Good driving, got cold tyres, you know, it's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, we'll talk about all the shuffled positions in a bit. Gary Craig looks like he's been hung out to dry here on that outside line going through all these left-handers. But we'll see where he ends up. Oh, he's good on the brakes though. Look at that.
He's got pace tonight because he gapped
Yeah.
Lee and Carl. Now normally they can manage just about his pace,
God.
but he gapped them comfortably tonight.
He did,
So.
and there was lots of cars out in the kitty litter, including I think it was Stephen Walker.
Bit of adrenaline, I think, flying around at the moment.
And cold
But
tyres.
look at these two. Our two leaders are valiantly keeping everybody at bay.
They are, yeah, they're up here. Demis doing a great job, got a position right from the very start. Let's have a look. Miguel Freitas, a little bit further forward here. Spencer McCarthy. Looks like he's doing what he does best. He's pushing his teammate around the track at the minute. Oh, sorry, sister teammate, Sam Blease. Sam's not going fast enough, apparently, for Spencer. Yeah.
Not room on the track with the cars. Hello. Oh, crikey.
Yeah, that concertina effect's brutal at that chicane, like you were saying, Alan.
Oh, it is. It's a wicked. It doesn't. Well, it is. It's serious. It is serious. It's serious, and it does concertina them.
Gary Craig's having to do a bit of defending, just a little bit back from this group, as Spencer gives Sam Blease another shove. I'm going to have to move forward here because these four are really having a go at it. Tony Walker is the first car in the second pack. I don't know how much of a defending job he can do and keep some of these of the super fast, if you want to term them that, behind. Michael Seal is doing a great job of keeping with this fast group.
Well, you know, Michael's got really good. You know, once he gets comfortable in the car, he's a serious driver. He's a top 5 driver.
Right. Okay. Well,
you know, he's got pace, and but he clearly starting to feel comfortable in the car.
Yeah. The two Jamies have found each other again. Yeah. Oh, that was wide again.
Exciting. Don't know what will happen. That's always interesting.
Spencer McCarthy, he's got it done. He's got it done. That's lovely. And Gary Craig, opportunist. Wow. Oh, good effort, Gary. Oh, he nearly got it as well.
Oh.
Nearly got it.
Exciting Cavalier racing. Just a joy.
Jamie Wilson's gone super defensive. He's going to lose time to Demis from that defensive line through there. He's got no choice really, though. I mean, Jamie Jeffrey is crawling all over him.
It's crikey, Pete.
I know. That Elantra looks like a mega handful tonight, I have to say. Spencer McCarthy on Lee Bowden. That is, yeah, take your chances where you can, and he does it so cleanly. Look at that. That's brilliant. And Sam Blease trying to follow him through that tiny little gap he's carved. But the next turn is a left. Oh, they're mobbing Lee Bowden at the minute. They're absolutely mobbing him.
He's doing a great job of keeping his line and keeping his cool.
Gary Craig taking opportunities wherever he can try and find them.
He's absolutely brilliant at this, isn't he?
Yep. This is a brilliant start to a race.
Launching with intent.
Oh my God.
He's a great launcher with intent, he's going.
He really is, yeah. Let's move the camera a little bit. Back to Lee again. So that is Miguel has nearly got the job done, but he's not quite done it on Lee Bowden. He's going to have to give best here, maybe. Although the next turn is a right, so I think he's got this done.
Goodness me.
What a great move. And Gary Craig as well. Like a rat up a drain pipe. He's absolutely done that beautifully.
Oh, this is classy driving. This is classy driving. They don't look like they're in much, of course, with that view, that long straight, but my God, they are giving it plenty.
Oh, that was class. Shubham on the chat says, fighting like it's a 4-minute race.
Yes.
This is what we get. Alex says he's so horny. I think he's on the hub again. Stephen Walker now, joining the back of this pack after having a kitty litter excursion earlier. And Demis has been caught, or near enough anyway. Two Jamies have kind of sorted themselves out. You can't look away from this group here because Michael Seal has just done a great move on Lee Bowden there. That was awesome. Nice.
Yeah. Thought through driving.
Yeah, very. He's worked that one out. And Tony Walker, is that around the outside? No, it's not. That's Spencer on the inside of Tony Walker.
Well, you can do something on the inside there, Pete. You know, there's
Yeah.
that line, you can keep it tight.
Jamie's fighting it out again. Oh, Jamie and Jeffrey. This is what I was
right.
saying about that Elantra. The back end of it
Fantastic.
looks absolutely waggy.
Yeah, he's saved that. It took some saving. That was going, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
He did well to hang on to that.
The Elantra just seems like a mega handful compared to the others. The Audi at the
Yeah,
minute
it's-
looks resplendent at the front in the hands of Demis Tikjar.
It's not hand in the heat, Pete. You know, we know it's
Yeah.
a hot track. And it's a lot, we're seeing a lot of sideways. I was doing a lot of sideways last night. A couple of the bends. They were definitely trying to make you Tokyo.
Go on, Lee. Try and take that position back from Wobbly.
Oh, it's this
Go
great
on.
scrapping.
Do it. Oh, no. He's not going to manage it, I don't think. And look at that. Stephen Walker.
Stephen, well, you know, crikey, Stephen won't hold back. If there's half a chance, he'll go through.
Yeah, he's not quite as bullish as some of the others. He's just got
No,
so
but
much
he's just
skill. He
got-
doesn't need to be
Yes.
bullish.
It just manages to produce that pace out of nowhere to take
Yeah.
advantage of any kind of an opportunity. Spencer does the same. It's an amazing thing.
Yes.
Just an instant pace out of nowhere and nip by somebody.
Look at that lot piling through the chicane. Good job, Demis. I mean, good grief, that's good.
This feels holding together amazingly well considering the nature of the track. You know, it's
Oh,
fast
yeah.
sprawling, sack. Look, they're still, everybody's still inside. It's just fantastic performance.
Oh, that's Gary Craig forcing an issue there on Tony Walker. He's had to drop in behind.
Yeah,
Tony's doing a fantastic job with that Elantra.
he is.
Is that
He's
Jamie
done it.
Wilson keeping? Yeah, he's managed to maintain second place for now. Defensive line though, that's only going to benefit Demis. I think we're going to look at having people in really early again, you know, Alan, because
I wouldn't be surprised.
Jamie Jeffrey.
Everybody's blocking everybody else. They're holding each other up, and
Can Jamie
yeah.
get this done? I don't think he will because the next turn's against
No.
him, so it's going to
No.
close off.
it's time.
Oh! Oh!
Oh,
Oh!
they're going to survive.
Yeah, but they're going to lose positions here. Lee Bowden, and is that Spencer in that match? It is.
Oh, Jamie came out the worst of that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Jamie Jeffrey, he came out far the worst. He's going to lose 3 places at the way he's going.
Yeah, but I bet he's having fun. Oh!
Oh, my word.
Good grief. What is going on? Right, so yeah,
Yeah,
Jamie
this will be-
Jeffries lost out there. Shame, really, because it was a bold move and it almost deserved to be rewarded. Oh, Carl Hardy is getting mobbed, like properly getting mobbed. He's lost 3 positions in as many, like,
Yeah, what's
manoeuvres.
going on there? This is,
Jamie
mind you,
Jeffrey, go on, Jamie. That's
these are
lovely.
quality. And
Sorry, I'm getting well into this.
I don't like to see Carl getting overtaken, but they're just too good.
Yes.
And you can't deny that quality.
No. Oh, and here we go. Pit stops. Lots of pit stops.
Well, what did you say?
I know.
Goodness,
They're
no.
all stuck in traffic. This is the only way they're going to get some clean air, but there's so many of them pitted, I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
get it.
No. Well, it's going to be interesting because, you know, that's some of the... That's some power that's just gone into the pits.
That's massive. So that was Gary Craig, Stephen Walker, Big Mig and Wobbly, all to the pits. It is early, but it's with this 35% fuel, it's the right on the bubble. Let's put it that way. And there might be a little bit of fuel saving needed, but not much. No tyres in this, obviously, because you wouldn't need it.
I think you can fuel save on this circuit as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not the worst in the world for that.
Okay, yeah.
I think they
Good
might well
coasting
be able to
corners
depend
there.
on it. You know, I think they, you know, well, you've got a bit of gradient, you've got wide open places,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of room for it, some nice straights, but they've thrown the dice, haven't they? They've
Yes.
gone in early, and the trouble is the bunch of them are very, very well matched. So when they come out, they're not going to lose each other easily, are they?
No, and Spencer's doing Spencer things. He's carving his way through the field. He's about to get a new scout, which is Jamie Wilson. And Sam Blease is ready to make some sort of opportunity.
Oh!
Well, that was I can't tell whether that was netcode or not. I'm not going to replay it. We saw it live, so let's keep watching.
Just a bit of racing incident, that's all.
Yeah, I think that's all there was. Yeah.
Yeah.
As they come piling through the chicane, which is showing to be a brilliant feature of this track. Very nicely through there. We have got other racing going on. This is the pitted guys.
Ooh.
That was a bit bold from Wobbly. Now, Wobbly has ended up at the back of this queue, and I'm sure he was one off the back when he pitted, so I don't know whether he's a little bit frustrated, but that was definite contact there with Stephen Walker.
You know, Miguel, I was surprised that Miguel wasn't able to make any places through the field.
Yeah, me too, actually. Me too. He's obviously front of the pile here, but he was beforehand, wasn't he? Gary Craig made the move to pit road earliest, and Miguel was the last to react of the two of them. It's benefiting him now because we know what he can do out front as Carl Hardy and Jamie Jeffrey come out of the pits. Alex on the chat says, holy crap, this race is fun. It is bonkers at the minute. And he wants to race and he's crying now. Well, you know, you had the choice.
Well, this is interesting. Carl's come in, Carl and Jamie have come out just behind the fast guys.
Yeah, they have. And I don't know whether they'll be able to stay with them or not. Time will tell.
Hard call.
Yeah. And that's Sam
Let's go
Blease.
see.
I don't know whether he's...
Look at Dennis.
I know.
Still.
Now, he's got this man chasing him down now, which is a different different package, isn't it? Spencer McCarthy running after you is a bit different.
You know, your time's running out.
Yeah.
But he's done a magnificent drive. He's led all this way, and this is fantastic driving by him. His pace is good. I think he's doing his absolute best. It will be absolutely wringing wet with sweat and passion.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have to go back and look at the pitted cars. We don't often do this.
We're racing.
Sorry, I'll do that again.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
So this is Wobbly again with a bit of... that's not asking for permission, that is it? You're going to be asking for forgiveness after that one. That was bold, to say the least. I think he's taken that impulse training to the letter.
Well, he had such good pace in the first race, Pete, didn't he? I mean, he drove away in the first race.
He did.
We know he's quick, and he's being held up. Wobbly, bless him, isn't the best with that situation.
No, he's not. And this is JB and Miguel. No, it's not. JB and Alejandro with Miguel behind them. That was the rest of my sentence. Once I get my words in the right order. The bold and not the beautiful. What a brilliant way to describe Wobbly's overtake. Absolutely perfect, that man, Ant Woodward.
Miguel's done the fastest lap.
Oh, yeah.
Since he came out.
Good eyes, good eyes. 153.3.
Yeah. Well, he's pouring it on since he came out the pits. He's got Gary behind him.
Yep.
And he's chasing JB in. So look at that. That is a fearsome bunch of drivers.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't like to have that like chasing me.
No, definitely not.
Oh,
wow.
The chase wouldn't go on for long. Come on, Carl.
Yeah, he's doing a good job here.
He's, you know, Emma and Jamie, they're both doing very well.
Yeah, I think.
Keep up with these chaps, they really are doing very well.
From what I can see, Jamie Jeffrey has made one mistake the whole race, and it was that overtake attempt on Jamie Wilson, and he lost so many positions that it's really hurt him. But for me, that's all that's happened now. Jamie Wilson has just entered pit road, so this will be interesting to see where he re-emerges.
Well, let's hope it works out for him when he gets a bit of clean air. That's what we're hoping for, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah, Big Mig is the first of the cars that have pitted He's got Alejandro in front of him at the minute, who's come off the racing line and gone to the
Oh.
pits.
JB's in the pits.
Yeah, he's followed the car he was racing, and he probably didn't want any more to do with this lot, because these are the super fast cars, and they are. Where's Jamie Wilson in all of this? There he is. He's going to emerge at the back of the train.
Yes. Well, this could suit him.
Oh!
It's the Jamies together. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that was great.
Goodness me.
That's the excitement we hope for in a pit stop, really. Good effort. This is bonkers.
That was timing for you.
Meanwhile, in another race, Spencer has found himself Demis Tigchalar.
Demis is.
He's doing a great job. I mean, the
Whatever
Audi's
happens
quick in
now,
it.
he's got to be happy. He's put in a fantastic drive here.
Yeah. And Wobbly's just
He's
set the fastest
stayed
lap, by
up.
the way.
He staved off these chaps, you know. He's fearless. He's, you know.
Look at Spencer's accuracy with that car.
I know.
Even though he was under the rear bumper of Demis, he didn't put him off, he didn't push him too hard, he didn't hit him. Such precision, it's just brilliant. And Alex on the chat says, Spencer, leave my boy alone. That's brilliant.
They're having a barrel of fun out there. That everybody. These guys love to race.
Look at that.
That's why they're here for the joy of racing.
Too right.
And,
Spencer's having to cross back here, but he's not got anything to cross back to because Demis has cut off that line.
Thank heavens I've got some whiskey. I took this moment to pour some Glenmorangie. And I need it now.
Yeah, do it, yeah.
This is serious.
And just for Spencer, lick it, Linda.
Well, it's very nice.
Yeah. So we're going to continue to watch this because this is for the top spot. This is for race lead.
Well, you know, Demis is defending here. He's not like he's keeping Spencer behind him and keeping Spencer back. And this is part of that, you know, with the narrow line.
Yes.
If you're wide on the narrow line, you can occupy it for a while.
Yeah, I
Sadly,
think Spencer
he's
might
done
have this.
time.
Ooh.
No, he's done in this time.
Yeah, Demis wanted desperately to turn in, and there was no
Yeah.
opportunity to. Very, very nice racing from Spencer. And Demis now.
Is Sam going to get through?
No, I don't think he is, because both of these turns are left.
No, he's okay.
He might hang it round, but that'd be a very big, massive amount of
That's
talent
okay.
required
He's
there.
fine.
Yeah.
He's going to make. I didn't want him to lose 2 places. He's done a fantastic drive so far.
He has,
And that
yeah.
was, you know, he was just slightly outdriven there by Spencer. And how many people aren't?
Yeah. Sorry, Alex. He's not got a favourite at all in that battle that we were just watching because he went boo dirty. I don't think it was. I think that was totally clean. 20-second penalty he's wanting for Spencer for just overtaking any Racing Forces car. Awesome job by Demis, says Adam Wright. I'm guessing, Adam, you didn't get back in time to race this one.
Oh,
I know.
that's rattling them going through there.
Yeah, Gary Craig is doing a great job here of keeping Wobbly behind him. He's already earned one £10 note this season, which he's going to redeem on Sunday at the beer stand.
Wobbly might get impatient.
He usually does, yeah, and that usually also leads to a rage quit somewhere along the line, but we'll see. Michael Seal is emerging from pit road. I don't think that's worked well or badly for him. I think he's going to be about where he should be. He's the latest of our pit stoppers. And he's done a respectable pit stop there, actually, in terms of overall time. I'll talk about the times later. I don't like talking about it while the action is hot, as Samblees has yet another go at Demis. And Demis defends brilliantly again. Doing a great job in that Audi of staying ahead.
He is. He's making it very wide, just in a very quiet way, you know. Oh, that was it.
That was
His
not.
time had come, but my
Yeah.
word, did he make those two of the best drivers in iRacing? He made them work so hard for that.
Yep.
Goodness me.
Agree. Absolutely right. I'm sure Alex will want a 40-second penalty for that one, but it's not going to happen.
But look at the gap now already. You see, this is the thing.
I know. Look at Spencer.
Spencer's miles
What
away
is
already.
that? I know they've been battling, and there's been a bit of scrapping going on, but that is mighty.
Yeah.
Lots of hip checks
And,
today, says Adam Wright. Yeah.
Sam's going to do the same, isn't he? He's going to be very interested in trying to close that gap with Spencer. You know, there's no team orders for those guys.
Yeah. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Wobbly kneecaps.
Well, he's made his move.
That is. Every time we do Cleos, Wobbly is on the chat to me saying, "Why aren't you faster?" and all that nonsense. I should be on it. Go on, Gary. Oh, Gary Craig.
Oh, he's wide. What's good? Oh, do you think you let him have it?
I think he's either burning a slowdown or he's cooked his stuff, or there's a chimpanzee jumping up and down on his rig right now because Wobbly's lost 2 positions there. Has he? No, that was Miguel. Sorry.
No.
Oh my God, I've been calling the wrong guy. That was Miguel that lost those places. My apologies to everybody involved. I was getting terribly excited that Wobbly had screwed up, and it wasn't him, it was Miguel that had got all that wrong.
Yes.
Good grief.
Wobbly's, well, he's got his hands full with Gary, hasn't he?
Yes.
Gary's, as we know, is so canny, and he's just, if anyone's of the temperament and the attitude to actually try and frustrate and get a result out of Wobbly by just being there in his face, it's going to be Gary, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on at the minute. We've seen Wobbly and I was reading Adam's last Adam's last message saying Wobbly wouldn't make a mistake like that. My Wobbly wouldn't make a mistake like that. I think there's a mistake to come because we've seen he's very, very bullish tonight in that Honda with other drivers. I wonder whether there's going to be contact between him and Gary on an overtake for what is effectively the lead spot of those that have already pitted. He's had a look trying to put Gary off, but Gary's a wily character. He's not going to be put off like that. My biggest surprise is Miguel, Alan, making mistakes. That's very un-Miguel.
Yes, and well, maybe he's a bit frustrated because he couldn't make progress from the midfield like you would expect. I was expecting him to start making a few places, but he was held up, and yeah, maybe it's a bit of frustration, and but of course, where are they now? They're all chasing, they're all in the race, and everything to play for still.
Yeah,
We're
man.
not even halfway, and we've had so much already.
I know, and we've just had contact. No, quelle surprise, in the words of Del Boy Trotter, between Wobbly and Gary. Gary sailed it into that corner, and he's made it work. That's actually pretty good. He's going to get a decent drive, is he? No, he's
Wobbly's
not.
looking for the inside.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to a different
decent line
camera.
through there.
I think he's gonna make this work. All
Yeah,
he
it's
needs
a
to do is
serious
park
attempt. He's
it.
got it.
Yeah. Gary needs to slot back in quickly, otherwise he's gonna have another impulse car. Go on, Gary. Ooh, go on.
Oh, I was looking for the gap. This
I've
is
got no
great
favourites.
driving. Goodness me. Oh, this is fantastic driving. What racing we've got tonight.
Yeah, Gary's just
Heaven's sake.
opened the door wide open for Miguel.
Oh, here comes Miguel. Goodness. Oh, everybody's looking hungry.
Yeah, they really are. This is brilliant racing. Oh dear, and at the minute this is just 6th.
Yeah. Well, look, Tony Walker
Tony Walker.
in 9th, sitting there at the back end of this lot. He's flying his flag tonight. This is great performance by Tony.
Certainly is.
Oh, it's Stephen. It's got to be Stephen. I know, yeah, it is Stephen. I don't know what's going to happen here, do you?
No, not got a clue. So I do know that Spencer McCarthy is
Oh, that was a bit...
a bit further away now than he was before over Sambly. 1.6 seconds is his lead. Demis Tigchalar is now coming under pressure from Lee Bowden. And then Matt Flannery. Oh, that's lots of pressure actually. We're going to stick with this. This is for third place, so this is big money. And he's making that work. Demis might be able to hang that out. I don't know whether Demis's tyres are all but done now after all the wonderful defending he's done. A long way back to Matt Flannery, and then we get to the first of the to the pitted cars, which is Wobbly. So Wobbly's nearly caught Matt Flannery. So there's almost an entire pit stop between them.
Yeah, they've got great pace, and Lee is doing a fantastic drive. He's holding his place. He's doing pretty well.
Sorry, it's a really funny conversation on the chat. So what Adam's saying nice things about Wobbly, and then Alex Sevillano Lado says, type 2 dots if Wobbly's kidnapped you. Then there's 2 hearts that follow it. It's quite funny. And Spencer McCarthy has blinked. Spencer McCarthy, it's a pit road. Now, where does he come out in terms of Wobbly, who's been held up already behind a couple of cars? Is this going to... Oh, Matt Flannery's joined pit road as well. Where is Spencer? Spencer's moving. Right, let's find a camera that will show us something decent here. Where's Spencer's car? There.
Yeah.
Where's Wobbly's car? There.
And has Matt gone in the pits?
Spencer is out ahead of Wobbly. Right, so this is going to be interesting. There's a chase on now. Miguel is piling pressure on at Gary, but he's not got past him yet. Gary's doing a great job of defending. Good effort.
Yes, he's thwarting Mig at the moment, that's for sure. But Tony's just Stephen's just sitting there, you know, and he's a great lurker.
He's chief lurker. Yep.
I wonder if he's just. And there's Carl's doing well as well. He's keeping them in sight. This is a grand performance. He's got no toe here to help him out, and he's actually gapped Jamie. He has.
Adam Wright on the chat is convinced that Spencer's pulled a blinder. The one that I'm interested in right now is Sam Blees, where he comes out, because he was 1 point whatever behind Spencer when Spencer entered the pits. Does that mean he's going to be in this mess of cars back here that we're looking at now? This is the closest three-way battle on the track, and this is for good points, really good points. And Adam Wright says even with Wobbly's supreme abilities, honestly, he's been kidnapped. I think Alex is absolutely right, or Ant rather, whoever it was. He can't catch Spencer. I mean, ordinarily I'm inclined to agree, but Wobbly did set the pole time, so he's obviously got it in him, in the toolbox, as long as he doesn't crash it and rage quit like he normally does.
Also, just done the fastest lap. The 152.
Ant on the chat just reported Adam apparently for fake news.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So, there's no doubt in that Wobbly's very, very serious about this. He's 52.9 is going some.
Yeah. So we've now got Miguel under quite a bit of pressure from Stephen Walker. This will be a great overtake scalp if Stephen can manage this, obviously, because Miguel is the championship leader. He's trying to do the outside here. That's going to be...
Oh, that's a big ask.
It isn't really... Well, it is and it isn't, because the next turn is left, and it'll be in Stephen's favour, as long as he's alongside a little bit. And then another left-hander might give Stephen the advantage, but if Miguel holds it long enough, it'll come back to him. So let's see.
Yeah, and I think this corner is a more decisive one, so it's going to be tight.
Oh, I don't... Well, it's... Yeah, the combination of the two. Ooh. I don't know. I think Stephen's done
Well, they
a
just
fantastic job. Is this the chicane?
this
Yeah.
awesome drive. Oh,
Oh, and that's lovely. From
That's
both
me.
of them. Oh my God, this is amazing racing.
Oh.
Oh, whoa. Oh, there should be Oscars given out for these. That's just incredible.
that's amazing.
Somebody
What
pass
would
me
you
my
say
blood
to
pressure
them?
pills.
We see it week after week. We get stunning performances by these drivers. They really produce every time. They love the race, and my word, we can share their joy. And my word, it's a
Absolutely.
treat. It's a treat.
Phew.
Please wait,
No.
mate, we're racing.
So,
Dennis we'll be glad to have had a breather, but now he's back and in business.
well,
and,
he's not just in business, he's in busy business. He's he definitely wanted to get past Jamie Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I think Russell's telling me to shut it.
no, Jamie's pitted, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Jamie Jeffrey, yeah.
So how's Lucky Wookie Walker going on now? He's got Miguel behind him. The answer is he's doing all right.
He's never going to drop Miguel.
No. Miguel's clearly a vast talent in this, in any car, I think. That's fair to say. Right, what's going on back here? So Jamie Jeffrey muscled out of his previous position by Demis Tixular, who's absolutely on one tonight. He's doing a great job. Was leading the race for a massive amount of time. It was great to see that.
And he gave no quarter when the faster drivers caught him up. He wasn't giving in, and he kept them behind him for a very long time.
He did, and he's had to give best to Jamie Jeffrey there, who's decided to get into the kitty litter just a little.
A little nudge, but everybody's right on the edge here. Nobody's holding anything back. They're not keeping anything in reserve.
No, and Jamie Jeffrey is next up on Demis's must defend against list. And that in the background there is Tony Walker. I mean, good effort.
Yeah. There isn't anybody who's been driving out the skin tonight, it seems to me.
No, really good racing all round. He's good on the brakes, isn't he? That's nice.
Yeah, you need to be. You need to be. It's because if you're not, if you don't brake on the straight just before the corners, if you leave it too late, that's spin city.
It is, yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of spinning here tonight, so these guys are really just showing off their class, really.
It's difficult to spin a front-wheel drive car as much as Jason used to manage it. It is a talent to achieve. Right. Answering against Adam there.
Oh, hello.
Oh, that's Jamie Jeffrey.
Oh, he got his braking wrong.
He did, but he's got away with that. And Jamie Wilson, like a rat up a drain pipe, but like Gary was earlier, straight through on Demis. And now Tony Walker.
Slight misjudgment with his braking. It's cost him dear.
Yep.
When he was threatening Jamie for a nice behind other Jamie. And the Jamies are together again, so...
Yeah, the balance has been restored. Jamies are once again together. Team JJ.
And, Tony's there, living with the pace.
Yeah, Tony's doing a great job, to be fair. We're going to have to move a bit forward and have a look at Miguel and Stephen again. This might come to something later on. I'll tell you what though, Gary Craig, when we talk about him stealthing his way forward, he's again keeping it clean. He's been in the traffic today, but he's kept it clean, and he's doing what he needs to do to get points. We're going to have to go back and look at Tony Walker, because Demis has turned up the wick again. He's closing in on Jamie, and only 5 minutes to go, says Ant Woodward, and he's absolutely right.
Really?
Yeah, unreal, isn't it? Unreal.
Miguel's in the 52s now as well.
He is. He's closing quite heavily on Stephen.
That's what 52.9 is what Wobbly had.
Yeah.
It's past that, wasn't it? So, how close do you want Impulse Racing?
I know. What's he got on in terms of best time? Who's got the best time? The best time is still with Wobbly at 52.925, 52.958 for Miguel. So it just proves, folks, that doing fast individual laps doesn't necessarily win you races. I mean, these guys are unbelievably fast over a single lap pace. But Spencer McCarthy is schooling them at the moment. They've not got many laps to run at, to be honest. Another 2, maybe 3, depending on where they are on the lap.
Sam's got, Sam's Wobbly's gapped Sam slightly. I don't think he's going to be able to do it with 1.6 seconds. I doubt Sam could do anything much about that.
No, but Wobbly does have a bag full of tow now. He's just taken 2/10 and the fastest lap again.
Oh goodness, yeah.
So he's within striking distance.
Well, it just shows you there is a bit of tow though, Pete, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, there is tow. It's not as much as it used to be apparently. I've not raced these cars since they changed that model. Not in anger anyway. I've done it in officials, but you know what you do in those. Crash mostly, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Wobbly's now got an opportunity to wrestle this lead away and try and take maximum points for the team.
One thing's certain, he won't hold back if he gets the opportunity.
No, not at all. And it's going to be difficult to look at this when this is going on and when this is going on. We're back to where we were in many races before, with lots of hot position up for grabs. I think we're going to get 2 more laps, as in the rest of this plus 1, maybe 2, hard to tell. We're coming up to the chicane here, and I think this is going to be it, as in 1 more lap.
Is he going to dive, do you think?
We're going to go on board with him and find out, because whilst there are other close races, he showed his intent there. He's telling Spencer, I'm having you if you screw up in any way, and possibly even if you don't. Will we see Barney out on the platform? Look to the left, there's a white flag.
He is. We actually saw Barney this week, Pete. That's a big improvement.
Yep, so Wobbly has just this lap. Just this lap, no pressure. But your future with Impulse Racing depends upon it. There's battles everywhere, so we'll just flick to this one because this is heating up massively. Gary is a bit of a cork in a bottle here, but Stephen Walker, is doing a great job at the moment. Still ahead of Miguel.
Titanic struggle again.
Titanic is absolutely the right term, and then this battle's going on as well, by the way, folks. This is way down the order, and this is for 9th place, all of this. We're going to go back and look at this, see if anything's going on here. Not yet, they are line astern for the time being. These are no different.
Oh, crikey.
I don't know where to look.
Oh.
Right.
Gary's done so well today. He's running 4th. He's keeping some really easy cars behind him.
Is Wobbly going to do something either unbelievable or dumb at the closing stages of this race? Is anybody going to do anything of those 2 categories?
Hardy and Bowden are running together again, chasing Miguel.
Yeah, this is the
Jamie chasing
right,
them.
so this one's not going to come to anything because Spencer's done everything he needed to do there. This one might come to something, maybe round the outside for Miguel. Cut back for Miguel. No, this one's not going to come to anything either. So well done to everybody racing there. That was beautiful. This is still going on though.
Yeah.
This mob that's coming down here
Oh.
now. Oh,
Demis
Demis, get back on the. Oh, Demis, mate, you got your braking
so
wrong.
getting back, he's going to lose in places.
Yeah, he's lost 2 places there. Tony Walker, flashing lights. Over the
Oh,
line.
he must be made up.
He
'cause
will
this
be
has
made
been
up.
One fast-paced race.
Good God, that was for 9th place. I mean, heavy racing way down the field.
Please wait,
That
mate.
was-
We're racing.
Well, that was a feast.
Yeah. Oh, I'm exhausted. I am honestly exhausted.
Pete.
JB,
I'm not surprised.
JB Dejoux, 15th. It'll be for JB. Great racing, nice and clean. Alejandro gives a bit of a weave, which shows how happy he is. And then some way back, but still racing, is Fee. Lead
Still on
lap
the lead
though.
lap.
Lead lap, that's the key bit. Nice
Points
work.
in the bag. Well done, Fee. But she's got to see the back of that chicane. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful, tidy driving.
Yep. That Safe Driver Award is there to be taken. Nicely done, Fiona Siddons. There we go. Parks it and job done. Otherwise, everybody else is doing the cool down lap.
Some got in the 52.9s as well.
Did he? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey, I
wasn't
tell you what,
bad.
that's
Fucking wow.
yeah, that's brilliant. 52.867 for Wobbly, 52.908 for Sam Blees, 52.905 for Stephen Walker.
Wow.
Good God above.
They saved it all for that last lap, didn't
I think they did. Those were all those last laps. That was impressive. Very impressive. Well done. Everybody rolls
Well, I
into
think
the
that's the
pits.
cream on what was an absolute fantastic, well, it was an absolute Buffon dish.
I mean, I'd ask you your opinion on the race, but I don't think we've got enough time for you to describe it all, to be honest. So we're going to go to the results. In the feature race, Spencer McCarthy takes home the win for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Sorry, I was just sorting something else out. Wobbly Kneecaps finished second for Impulse Racing. He would have liked it to have been first. Sam Blees finished third for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White. Gary Craig was fourth for BSTV, just outside the podium again, but bringing home the points every race. Stephen Walker finished fifth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White. Miguel Freitas in sixth for Impulse Racing, with Carl Hardy seventh for Safeguard by Results. Eighth was Lee Bowden for Safeguard by Result as well. Jamie Jeffrey finished ninth, with 10th being Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. Tony Walker finished 11th. 12th was Demis Tichlar for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Michael Seal was 13th for Result Clothing on his first race back with us. 13th was Michael Seal. 14th was Matt Flannery for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Oh dear, it's that time of night.
Pete, you've worked hard this evening, matey.
Oh, I'm knackered. JB Dejoux finished 15th for BSTV Sports Blue. Alejandro Advani finished 16th, with Fiona Siddons 17th, and bringing up the back of the field for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Yay. Right, wow. Let me see. I need to click a few things before we can proceed.
Wow, what a race. What an evening's racing. That was just tremendous. And congratulations to everybody. You've driven your hearts out for us tonight, and you've given us such a spectacle to enjoy.
I'll tell you what, I didn't know what I was going to see on Jerez. Obviously, it's brand new to us, and I've never seen a car race around this track. So it's been a massive education for me. I think it's delivered some absolutely stunning racing. I really do. What a wonderful track and car combination it's delivered for us tonight, don't you think?
Oh, I do. I think the front wheel drive has suited this circuit. It's just it doesn't matter what the car is. I've got a feeling just the flowing nature of this place. It's such a challenge and it's a delight. But we saw how difficult it is, even as this flowing wide lines. That racing line is narrow, and if you get a fast jockey on there who knows how to defend, doesn't have to do much, just make the car slightly wide, it can be tough to get by.
It really can, and oh dear, we saw some absolutely fantastic overtaking. Really well crafted options for people. I think it's just been a real clinic that we've been able to watch tonight. Right, let's see who we're going to start bringing in for these interviews. This is annoying. He's actually not in the chat. He's not in the chat. I was going to say the most successful man of all tonight, and I said it at the start. We've not spoken to him for ages because he rage quits. Is Wobbly, and he's not in the booth. So we're gonna and Spencer's live showing somebody something. So we're gonna have to go for somebody else. Who's in the queue.
There's Wobbly's coming now.
Oh, is he? Right, let's steal him. Because it would be no matter how annoying it is. It would be remiss of us not to bring. Yeah, exactly. That was my sentiment as well. Oh my god.
Give me 2 seconds. I was just about to take off my shirt.
I don't want. We don't want to know that.
Well, we can see a picture of that, can't we? That'd be nice.
No, it wouldn't. Alan, what are you doing? Don't encourage him. I mean,
it's so hot. It's so hot.
What temperature have you got there in Holland?
Sweating 50 degrees on track ass.
Yeah, no. What the hell? The track temperature tonight was obscene. Even at the start, it was 48 degrees. And I think it can only have gone up since then. What was the most you saw on it?
I think 50, to be honest, but I don't have like the decimal points, and probably got up to 50.5 or something, 50.3.
I mean, I've never driven on a track like that in sim racing before. I never exceeded 50, so that just adds to the impressive nature of everybody's driving tonight. I'm exhausted, and you must be exactly the same, Wobbly. That was frantic. You did a flag to flag in the first race, which, all right, in the first race we weren't focused on you guys at the front because all the racing was further back. You kind of consolidated that lead and that victory, didn't you?
Yeah, I made a setup and it instantly worked and clicked for me. And yeah, the good thing is I admit I did a lot of practice because this week I have the same track but without the chicane and for a league tomorrow.
Right.
So I definitely I felt it, and it felt like a track that somehow weirdly enough really suited the Honda. So that's gonna be interesting, and it was interesting, and I don't know, I just clicked with the track and I liked it, and I was definitely I threw it. I don't want to say I threw it away in the second race, but I could have done better because I got the slowdown.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But it was good, quite good. I really enjoy this track, and going around, it's a lovely one, and I think that we should just do 12 weeks of this.
Now, do you know what? There are some features that are exactly the same as Donington on this track.
No, the features are pretty much the same as Montegi, but on Montegi it's all flat.
Yeah, whereas this has got a lot of undulation to it. Yeah, a lot of topography here. No, Donington is the last hairpin is almost identical to Donington.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It's all the way in a different country. What are you on about?
Well, I know that. Well, never mind. But let's talk about race 2. So, race 2 didn't go all your way. I have to be happy about that. You started obviously in 12th after winning the first race. Getting through the pack wasn't so easy. You, Miguel, Gary, and name eludes me. All pitted as early as anybody did. Stephen, sorry, yeah. I think it was lap 5 that you got to. And then it looked to me like Gary moved towards pit road and set everybody off. I don't know whether that was the case or not, but on the broadcast it definitely looked like Gary made the first twitch. Miguel, I think, was in front of him, and Miguel reacted after Gary to get into pit road, but maybe that's his normal line. And that kind of dictated what happened after that, because Spencer, although he did get a bit of delay behind others, you probably wouldn't have known it because you wouldn't have had it on your Delta. He only got delayed really by the lead car, which was Demis at the time. And then got out ahead of you, obviously, after the pits. And that was enough to consolidate his victory in the race.
That's a good summary of what happened.
Yay. Got it right for once.
Yeah,
The only thing you got wrong,
Hang on, I've got to do this. I just cheers myself.
Okay, cheers to myself. No, but the thing is, like, me and Steven, we had glued cars in the first corner. Third corner or something. So I got a good run. I didn't really want to pass Miguel, but I got past him on the outside in turn 1 in the first lap. Yeah. And then I washed out a little bit, and Steven obviously had to turn in. And then there's this weird thing with iRacing where the cars, when they touch the sides, like the wheels touch, they just glue together and you just glide all the way to the left, and it's annoying. But it was so then I had to consolidate a little bit, and then I had to slow down. And I was looking at I saw what Spencer and Sam were, and I knew that I had the pace on the pack today. I think I was about 2 or 3 tenths quicker than Spencer and Sam today, and I figured that I needed clean air, and I was always going to pit that lap because I wanted the clean air. And unfortunately, Steven and Gary and Miguel pitted as well. But well, to be honest, I barged my way through Steven. But as Steven says, the sides of my car are not my responsibility.
Right, okay.
So I did it before, and we touched really hard. It was weirdly enough, it was only a 0x. And at the second time, he was quite early in the brakes, and he will probably argue he wasn't, but he definitely was. And I was like, I had to get through because I knew I had to make up the time. And then I ended up behind Gary, and he was pretty fast out of the corner, so didn't really get a good run. But Miguel made a mistake, which put Gary out of the draft, and I was just trying to force Gary into the mistake, and he made a slight error somewhere. I can't really remember how I took him, but he made a slight error and got past him. I think I sent it somewhere on the inside. Yeah,
that sounds like you. You did some very, shall we say, bold moves that required...
WTCS moves.
Yes, exactly that, actually. Yeah, very bullish. I'll use some of the car in front to turn with moves, all into the same corner. So you obviously had that corner absolutely nailed.
Yeah.
And nailed as long as there was another car on the left-hand side of you, of course, that could assist your turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end, I saw Spencer coming out. The pit was 1.8 seconds, so I closed that gap, and then I had 2 laps to overtake him. And like the last lap, I was quite close in the first sector, but I was pushing it, and Spencer's quite good. Quite good on the braking. So.
He was very good through the chicane. He was faster than a lot of cars through that chicane, including.
No, he was slow in the chicane.
No, but he was quick out of it. That's the key point.
No, I had to back off every time because he was quite slow on the entry.
Maybe that's why it looked like he was faster.
Yeah, I had to back off a little bit. He wasn't bad,
you
obviously.
You talent for it, clearly. But
I do. Yeah, I like the talent to win second races. But at least I finished 2 races this week.
Yeah.
You did a great race, Wobbly, honestly.
Yay!
You played great this week. I really love this circuit.
Let's go.
Yeah, you did a great drive, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It was fun.
Either your paint or Miguel's paint is missing its spec map, by the way. Because on the broadcast, if you're watching it, yours is a lighter shade of blue than Miguel's.
So he forgot to upload the new one.
Oh,
blame him. He doesn't know that because I made the mistake on Mospot to upload the wrong one, and then I corrected it with the one they painted because they didn't have an updated paint. We didn't have an updated paint, so it's now I uploaded the updated one, and I think Miguel did.
Okay, well you've beaten Miguel twice tonight, which means you're fired from Impulse, clearly, because Big Mig is #1 driver, and there's no way that you're allowed to get more points than he is.
In my defense, I was really considering letting him buy the first race.
I bet you were. I
was at the last minute. I came up the straight, looked behind me, and I saw that his gap was 0.2 seconds. I said, no way I'm gonna do that.
Funny stuff. Where is he in for an interview or not? Hang on, is he in the chat? I don't know. Let me go and have a look. No, he's not. No. So we can't abuse him just as much as we're abusing you tonight. But yeah, a reasonable racing. I can't say great racing. Adam clearly has some sort of bromance going on with you tonight. We think he's lied, and we think he's spreading fake news, according to Ant Woodward. Alan, any derogatory comments for Wobbly?
No, I haven't got any not about Wobbly's performance tonight. He's
Really?
been he's drove beautifully, and he did a great drive in the first. He had the pace in the first race, just as had pace all night. He made it count in the first race. He was too fast for everybody, and he's put on a great drive in the second race and not quit. And
what's that about? Yeah, you didn't rage quit. We're not used to this.
Mate, I got killed twice in 3 weeks. Gary just nailed my ass. Then Spencer came into me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna wait. I don't care." and at that exact moment when Gary killed me, it's quite funny. Noah was crying next to me because he came up. She had a nightmare. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. But then Gary killed me. I threw the car to the left, looked to my left, suddenly saw Noah just crying. It's like, "Oh, this is perfect." Now I can quit.
And then you were crying with Noah together. Oh.
Well, she did tell me to shove it up your ass.
Did she really?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute because she's lovely and I'm not sure she's related to you. Anyway, anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and practice for Road America?
Well, definitely not you.
Okay.
Definitely Alan. Definitely Steven for being my brake marker.
Yeah.
Miguel, being my teammate, got some impulse. And Miguel had a rough night, I think. I'm pretty sure he will do better next week. And I'm looking forward to the next race.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we won't look forward to seeing you at Road America. Wobbly kneecaps. He's gone. He's checked himself out.
Fantastic.
Right, we're going to bring in... hang on. I'm pressing the right one. I don't know who I'm going to get now because...
I'm dying of old age here.
I know, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? It's just been too exciting. Speaking of which, Spencer McCarthy, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you've stopped sharing your screen now, so I can bring you into the booth.
Yep.
So, race one. Hang on. Race one. 5th place for you in race one. That was a tough one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just I struggled tonight a little bit with pace. Just one of those things where I'm either overdriving the car, overdriving the brakes, or I'm looking forward to a bit of a break now.
Is that because it's a reasonably new track for you?
No, I think it's just the series is super competitive.
Right,
so it's one of those, if you're not on your A game, you're just going to struggle.
Okay.
So I was obviously, I'm either using too much brake pressure or something, I don't know, but I feel like I'm overheating the front of the car and then can't get the rotation going. And it's one of those weeks where I've really tried to hook up with the track. I seem to be quite quick early on. Done a lot of work with the setup, and everything I touched with the setup arrived me at exactly back at the same lap time.
Really?
It was, yeah. And I did some crazy things with the setup in the end. And even tonight, I still wasn't happy with it. I literally, just before the last race, I just was like, I'm not happy. And I just literally threw on this week's Fuji set from Apex and literally just ran with it. And it was, and I got the same times.
Was it you that sent a message to someone saying, put a setup on, mess with it, and go racing, or something?
Exactly, because absolutely. Because tonight it just felt like whatever I did, it was either just the way I'm driving the car that it just isn't making the car work, as opposed to the setup. So
speaking of making it not work, explain how you got number 1 in the second race then.
Well, because I started 5th. Well, I finished 5th in the first race, so I had the advantage straight away, right? So,
well, I suppose yeah.
I suppose it is still that close. We are still that close in lap time, as much as Wobbly was pretty much like half a second a lap on his best lap quicker than everyone else. He, as long as I just did enough, as long as I did my pace, the best pace I could, I managed to hang on to the win. Right. And we are that close, right? That can kind of happen. Just made sure I nailed the pit stop. You know what I mean? It's just, I suppose it was more racecraft and experience than pace that got me that win in that second race.
Right. Yeah. Well, we were noting that, weren't we, Alan? The speed at which you overtake people. It's a thing to behold. It really is. There was a couple of them where I was just aghast because it looked like there was nothing on, and then all of a sudden you were in front of the car, and you was like, "What? What has he just done?"
The one that was a little bit too audacious for me was, I didn't believe that I actually stopped it for the corner, was Jamie Wilson. And
oh no, we saw that one. We saw that. Yeah, that was class. Yeah.
Even I'm in disbelief as I came out of that corner thinking, "Oh, I've got the inside for the next corner. How has this happened?" It was very, very weird. I just saw Sam come in, and because obviously I got held up a little bit by Jamie on the quick right hander going onto the back straight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could have really done with a run sort of thing, because he kind of seemed to lift mid corner a bit too much, or a bit more than I thought. And then Sam's got the run on both of us, and I'm like, Jesus, I can't go to the outside because Sam's going to have the inside. Jamie's covering the inside, so what am I going to do here? And I literally just thought, I'm just going to brake later than Sam. But obviously I'm right behind Jamie.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, Jamie's braked. So I then had to squeeze through just to the outside of him. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of stopped. And I started turning, thinking, well, am I going to make it around the outside? And I just had an overlap on the exit and thought, well, I've got the inside now. So, yeah, that was more luck than judgment. But it was, it was one of those things that I'll do anything at that moment.
Yeah, we watched that entire sequence, and it was just brilliant. So thanks again for such an entertaining night. We've got Road America next time round, which, as far as I know, it features on everybody's favourites list at some point. Do you enjoy that race?
I do really like Road America, actually, yeah. But I will be watching next week.
Okay.
Because I will be abroad. So, yeah, for the next
you're not
3
taking
weeks.
your entire rig with you?
Well, I could break it down, and yeah, I think the baggage allowance might cover it. But yeah.
Anywhere nice?
Off to Turkey.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Are they not at the 49 degrees temperature that the rest of Europe is at the minute?
I'm not sure what the actual temperature is there. I think it is quite warm.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got any fires going on in the nearby. But I think I think we're a bit further south than the Greek islands, slightly to the east of the Greek islands on the bottom sort of left corner of Turkey. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it's going to be hot, I think, but yeah, hard life, isn't it? There'll be a swimming pool and there'll be air conditioning. I mean, what can I say?
First world problems is the words you can say.
Indeed.
So you'll be praying for a double blue on blue with Impulse Racing, then obviously.
Clearly. If I'm having 3 weeks off, then Miguel's got to have 3 weeks off.
Exactly. But no, great racing again tonight. Alan, any choice words?
Just another great evening and another fine performance. But everybody had to work for it tonight, didn't they, Spencer?
Yeah. New track, a nice leveler, wasn't it? And it was.
Yeah. It was a spectacle, mate. Honestly, it was fantastic driving. I don't think I've enjoyed a race more this season. Brilliant. And we've had such fantastic races all season, but tonight was really, truly special. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Anybody you want to shout out to, Spencer?
Do I? I don't know. Yeah, Wobbly for his pace, to be fair. I'm going to give him that. He was bang on it. And that's kind of like testament to the guy. He'll put the laps in. And he came up really on top tonight, right? I think in my head he's probably kind of like driver of the night, just because no one's been here before. He put the time and effort in, he built the setup himself, and he's putting the lap times down that put that kind of marker out for everyone else. So hats off to him.
That's really lovely, Spencer. Thank you. That's very nice of you.
It's a good job. It's a good job you're not voting for that one.
Well, obviously, but two classic sayings. One, it was very nip and tuck tonight. Yeah. That's a classic saying. I think that's very, very apt tonight. And the other thing is, I just want to obviously let Wobbly know as well that you're only as good as your last race. And at the moment, I'm better than him.
Absolutely. And on that note, because it's brilliant, we're going to say good evening to Spencer McCarthy. Good evening.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.
That was good. Sam Blees we can't speak to right now. So we are going to speak to the king of fourth place, because I think he got fourth place in both races.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Where were you? Sixth in the first one. Fourth in the second one.
I was very happy with sixth in the first one.
Well, when you look at the collective I rating that's ahead of you on the scoreboard for Heat 1. I can understand that, to be honest. You had Wobbly, Miguel, Sam, and Stephen and Spencer in front of you. So there's the best part of what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,000 IR ahead of you. That's just obscene, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But tell us about your first race, because you did what you do best. You kept it clean. You kept it on the money. It was still really competitive. But if I'm being honest, we were looking further back in the field because that's where the racing was in the first one. But we'll talk about the second race next. So talk me through your first race.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been particularly quick here this week, and it's not been a track that I've liked a huge amount. It's okay, it's not terrible, but I just never really gelled with it. So I was actually very, very happy and surprised to finish right on the back of the lead group, because I was half a second slower than them a lap easily until like the last lap of quali. So I was just happy to still be with the front group in that first one. It was a bit of a follow the leader, which is fine. It usually happens in the race one, to be honest.
Yeah, because you expect it, don't you? That's where everybody's qualified. That's their ability level graded against one another on that track on that day. And then race 2 happened, and good God, I am exhausted from broadcasting that.
Try driving it.
Well, exactly. That was just unreal. What a fantastically entertaining track that is, with a slightly reversed grid, with tactics all over the place. My opinion is you twitched first and moved your car to pit road, and then 3 cars followed you. Because even though Miguel was in front of you, he reacted after you to pit road. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. I don't know. But that was the earliest window that I could see you could pit. You did a great job of holding it out, and you got yourself a bag full of points in 4th place. How did it run for you?
I mean, those first 2 or 3 laps were just side by side with somebody. The entire field was side by side. It was hectic, but a lot of fun. Like the first couple of laps, especially, was just awesome. Got a little bit hung out by Lee on, I think, the 3rd or 4th turn, which allowed Sam and Spencer back, which is fine. He just had the inside, which put me a bit on the slower, dirty outside. Wobbly sent it on Wook and almost sent it on me, but that's just first lap incidents, and it was the side of his car, so it doesn't count, so that's fine.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
But no, it was, again, they were all a bit quicker than me, but I did enough to hold Wook off, because Wook short-filled by about 1.3 litre, spent most of the race saving fuel. He did a really good overtake on Miguel while saving fuel. And then when he was able to pass at a push, I was able to hold him up enough where it counted to get Miguel into the challenging him, which allowed me a little more breathing room, because he had to be a bit more defensive. So it was a bit tactical in the last few laps to try and keep Wook behind, because he could push flat out for the last 3. So just a really fun second race, actually, on a track I wasn't hugely enjoying driving, but it was really quite fun to race on.
It looks like a track that should favour you, because it's got that flow and that technicality that I think you enjoy. I don't know.
It's not really that technical. It's one of these kind of big, wide, kind of F1 style sanitized tracks that I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them. It feels like Catalonia to me. It's
right, okay.
So I know loads of other people are really enjoying the track, and I was getting kind of to enjoy it a bit more towards the end, getting a bit better at it. But I still give me like an Alton Park or something any day rather than this.
I can certainly give you a Road America next week.
See, I don't mind that. It's another big long one, but it's got more character.
Hey, big long one. All right. That fits in with tonight's conversations on the chat for sure. But speaking of a little short one, Croft on Sunday. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? In the rain.
Yeah. It's, again, the usual Croft weekend where we'll get sunburnt, frozen to death, wet, and
all 4 seasons in one day. It's going to be
and then a wild gust of wind blowing all the brake dust in our eyes. It's just standard, yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, awesome.
To look forward to.
Yeah, right.
On the rallycross circuit this week, I think.
It might as well be. But no, great racing again tonight. Very entertaining. If you watch the broadcasts back, this one's going to stand out, because that was insane, some of what we watched as a broadcasting pair. Anything for Gary Allen?
Oh, no, I thought Gary's done a fantastic drive tonight. It's just the epitome of what he does, which is just be there in the right place with the right skill and the right attitude and squeezing every point out of every situation. I love it that Gary does this. He exploits his talent to the absolute best of his ability. You know.
Well, thank you, Alan.
Well, it's true, mate. And you were yet another great performance because, you know, these guys are so quick, aren't they? You know, and to actually stay the pace and still be scoring good points in this field, I think it takes some doing, matey.
I mean, it's what's pushing me on to try and get faster is trying to keep up with these guys, and it's been 2 years work in progress, but it's continually helping. They're continually getting faster as well, so everyone's continually getting faster behind. So overall, everyone is benefiting from keeping up with everyone else. It's fun.
No.
Yes, well, you've all grown together, it seems to me. You know, I've been watching this for a long time. Seasons. I've got bits and notes going back years now. And yeah, you've all grown together. It's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Common.
I've doubled my I rating since starting in the league, so
yeah.
more than doubled it. So it's certainly been a continual improvement for everyone. It's been good fun.
And I think Tony's got it absolutely right on the chat. He's described you all to a T at the front end of the field. Bloody aliens.
Well, now that the American government have announced that aliens do in fact exist and they have remains of aliens in storage, then yes,
I read that the other day.
can confirm that I've been held at a US Army base for the last 70 years.
Awesome. Any shout-outs you want to make before you go and practice for Road America next?
Centripetal Circuit.
Centripetal Circuit, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you guys as always for the broadcast, and you know it's a really fun racing tonight with Wook, with Miguel, less so with Wobbly because he just sends it, but no, it was really fun evening. So thanks everyone, just as always.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we'll see you next time out. Gary Craig.
Cheers, thanks guys.
Good night, Gary.
Good night.
Right, he's not showing his screen to anybody anymore, so we can finally get Sam Blees into the booth. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I was wondering whether we'd ever get you at all. King of third place tonight, 2 of them, a full sweep of third places. Talk us through race 1 first.
Yeah, race 1 was relatively mundane. I got Wook off the start, and then I followed the Impulse boys. I had a bit of pace right at the end, last 2 or 3 laps. I was a little bit faster than Miguel, but I wasn't able to do anything with it. So yeah, followed them home, took 3rd place, and that was that.
And that will probably benefit you more than you expect, because you had a few rough races at the start of the season, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
I think you've supplanted at least one, if not more, of your poorer performances along the way with that one. I know you only get 1 drop week, but yeah, I think that'll do you no harm whatsoever getting a double 3rd place, especially when Miguel finished behind you in the 2nd race and only slightly in front of you in the 1st race. The Veloster seemed to be on pace, in my opinion, with the Honda tonight. I know the Honda was billed to be the car to watch, as it were, going into it, but how new was this track to you?
Oh, completely. Yeah, I did 1 lap when it came out in a Clio,
Yeah.
and then my first lap in since then was Sunday last week, or Sunday, so not long ago. But yeah, I love it. It's a really good track, and I think probably the Honda had a bit more potential. I think Wobbly's car showed what the Honda could do.
Yeah.
And I think me and Wook had the 2nd and 3rd fastest cars. So really, we should have been beating Miguel and Spencer too. He obviously had a great result and a great drive in the 2nd race. But yeah, I think there was very little in it. Wobbly just had a couple of tenths on everybody, and then me, Wook, Spencer, and Miguel were very similar. But I think we probably had a tiny edge there. And I think that a lot of that comes down to setup, to be honest. There wasn't a lot between the cars at all, apart from Wobbly's. I don't know what he did, but it was obviously working really nicely for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great track for him. It was really good fun to drive.
It was unbelievably fun to broadcast. That was just insane. To be fair, at the front, in the 1st race, we were more concentrating on the battles behind you because there was some. But the 2nd race was just pandemonium and brilliant racing, so clean. apart from Wobbly, who was using other people's cars to turn corners with. But that's WTCR all over, isn't it? His new best friends drive like that, don't they? It's one of those things. But yeah, you were featuring obviously very highly in both of them. Did you think your pit stop strategy hindered you at all, or did that play about as well as it could have done for you?
I think I might have won it, or I probably would have definitely come second if I'd pitted when the other guys did, when Wobbly and Gary and those lot did. And I was planning to, because there was 3 or 4 cars we had to battle through, and then we got past 2 of them on that lap.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, there's only a couple of people left to get. I think there may be 3 ahead of me and Spencer. So I was like, I'll stay out, because there's no guarantee if you pit now that you won't be in traffic. There might be other people behind, whatever it might be. So I decided to stay out. And then I lost about a second and a half fighting Jamie. Because I kept basically, Spencer would get past somebody, I'd get past them and lose a bit of time, then I'd catch him up, and then he'd repeat, and I was always losing a little bit more time than he was. So I lost, a second and a half to Jamie. I think I lost maybe 2 seconds against Demis. And admittedly, that was a little bit of a lunge from me, which wasn't a great move, so apologies for that. So I think without those, if I could either have made those moves more cleanly or pitted earlier, I'd have come out ahead of Spencer and Wook. Not Wook, Wobbly.
Yeah.
Because of the various incidents and stuff that they had. And I think I did. I was definitely faster than Spencer, and I was able to match Wobbly. So if I was ahead, I probably at the end would have hopefully been able to hold on to it. So yeah, it probably wasn't ideal strategy, but I think more it was just I was not making moves decisively enough and cleanly enough with the reverse grid portion of the track. I've got a really good start. I think I was 3 or 4 positions up by the second corner. But it was just, I left too much time on the table. Coming past those guys wasn't clean enough, and I think that cost me a chance for a better result. But still, it's third.
Yeah.
Can't grumble at 2 podiums.
No way. No way.
Still a really good result, Sam. And, you know,
absolutely.
no easy task to get by tonight. Everybody was quick, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. It was very clear. I mean, I think everyone except Gary really enjoyed the track. So a lot of us had done a lot of practice. And Wobbly and Miguel, it's the same track for WTCS tomorrow. So they were combining practice as well. So, yeah, because we'd all done a lot of practice, we all knew roughly where we were coming in. And it was good. I left a bit on the table in a couple of places. I didn't qualify very well, but I can't be too sad with it. And like you say, Wobbly's miles back into points and he's missing races. Spencer's missing races, so it's Miguel. I need to be outscoring, and I think I probably did that.
Yep.
Albeit not by much. I'm 100 points behind. I've probably gained maybe 15, but better than nothing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And Spencer's obviously sun in his cheeks. You choose which ones for next week's race. And yeah, that's for some. They need that, and I'm sure some are praying that Miguel goes on holiday.
It would make life easier.
yeah. And it's that time of year, so it might happen.
We have a whip around.
Yeah, send him on a cruise.
I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking those £10 caravan holidays.
Oh right, yeah, of course. But yeah, again, fantastic entertainment. Road America's the next racetrack that we go to for this series. It features highly on a lot of people's agendas and favourite tracks. Is it one of yours?
Not really.
Oh,
no, it's
controversy.
I just don't really drive anything faster than TCRs, and it's just a really long lap in them.
It really is.
It's almost all flat out, but I think it makes for good racing. And with the toe that we have now, the slipstream, it's not ridiculous, but it on a long straight, you still get some benefit from it. Right. So I think we'll probably see quite a big pack. I think that will keep people who maybe wouldn't be able to hold on quite at a normal track will probably be part of that pack, be part of that battle. So I imagine it will be a very good broadcast. It's not a particular favourite of mine. It's not one I necessarily go that well at, but I've got some time on my hands, so I'll put some practice in and see what we can do.
Awesome stuff. In that case, is there any shout-outs you want to make before we let you go?
I just want to apologise again to Demis that my move was a little bit late and clumsy. So I know I didn't cost him too much. It was only a 0x, but apologies, it wasn't an ideal manoeuvre. And yeah, thanks to everyone involved for turning up and making it a great race, and you guys for hosting. And yeah, we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you all.
Awesome stuff. And we wouldn't be here without the likes of you either. So hopefully you'll continue racing with us for much of the future to come. Sam, please, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, Sam.
Bye.
Cool. Right, next up into the booth. We're getting through them. We really are. You're
doing well. You're doing well. Honestly, your voice is holding up, and your brain's holding up, Pete.
Well, I don't know about the brain. The voice is just going off autopilot now. But we've got one half of Team JJ in the booth. Jamie Wilson. Good evening.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Let me see. Where did you finish in the first one? 9th in the first one, and 10th in the second. It doesn't really.
You got the wrong Jamie. I was 12th in the first one.
Were you? Oh, God, you were. Yeah, because you polled it. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, yeah, I did actually get the wrong Jamie there.
I'll be Jason in a minute.
No, you won't. There was no spinning. So, oh, no, I used to call you Jason Wilson, didn't I? Because I worked with a guy called Jason.
James now, apparently, as well.
Well, maybe that, yeah. 12th in the first one. Yeah. Should make up random names for one another from now on. Yeah, I got the right one in the second one, 10th. I don't think it's necessarily reflective of the pace you could have had tonight, and where I think you probably should have finished. That Elantra looked very waggy at the back end. It was sailing all over the place, and not just for you. For virtually all of the Elantra drivers, the back end of that car was alive. It wasn't paying attention to what the front was doing at all.
Yeah, it was a handful, certainly. We obviously independently came up with the same setup philosophy around here, which is that we were just needing. My own struggle was mid-corner to exit, because particularly like the last corner, I just couldn't get a run on anyone. I was just really struggling for traction the whole time, basically. But the counterpoint to that is the car was really good through like the last section, which all the sort of really technical stuff, slightly slower stuff over the chicane, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And to get that balance, you basically had to set it up with just skid pad mode, basically. Yeah, just fire it roughly in the direction of a corner and hang on for dear life. It was good fun, though. It's a brilliant track to drive. I was crap, but the track was brilliant.
Yeah, it looked amazingly fun. And we saw no end. I mean, you need to put some proper paying like sponsors on your car if you're going to race like that, because you were on screen for nearly all of both races, to be honest. Well, the action was all around you, really.
I'll have to give Dulux a ring, because my car probably ended up like looking like a paint swatch at the end of it with all the different colours on it.
You got used as a turning implement on a couple of occasions, definitely. Yeah. One of them was wobbly, I think. He used a number of cars on that same turn to get round it. I think that's his WTCR impulse training kicking in. But yeah, we know he's going to get fired because he finished 2 races ahead of Miguel, so that's the end of that honeymoon. But yeah, I think you did you do the best of all the Elantras? You didn't quite, did you? There was a couple.
No, Jamie Jeffrey was Jamie Prime on this occasion.
Yes, yeah.
Much to my chagrin.
Yes, what a great word as well.
So I bloody tried to keep him behind, but
and the battle was brilliant to watch from a broadcasting perspective. That was sensational. Yeah. Nothing more entertaining tonight than watching you two going at it, trying to outfox one another in corners. Yeah. He's a real life racer. He knows loads of the tricks, and you probably know that from racing with him. But what a fantastic pair of races we've just been witness to. That's fantastic.
Fair bit of 5D chess going on there.
Just stunning stuff.
We've had a lot of that this season from
we have.
Jamie. Honestly, you've given us so much pleasure, the two of you together. So close in pace and so skillful, and that the racing through the elements of the field tonight was amazing.
Yeah, it's just because we've just from racing each other like that, and this doesn't just go for Jamie, it just goes for in the past, Tyler in the V8s or anyone really. Is that it's all built on trust. Jamie and I race each other as hard as we race each other. If you know what I mean. So he gives as good as he gets, and I'm the same. So, but we can only do that because we can trust each other, and it will go wrong. And that's fine because in that context, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, good job. I'm not racing.
Absolutely, you're on the edge. Absolutely on the edge, both of you.
Yeah.
And it's a real treat to watch. The thing is, the value for us is fantastic because it just makes fantastic viewing. It does, because that people are trying their hardest. People are absolutely on the edge, but they've got the respect for each other. So you get that beautiful racing where people are trying their hardest, but they're respectful of each other, and not that it's not about bang and crash. It's about skill.
The best embodiment of that is actually in the Clios, because with no ABS there, you are absolutely on the ragged edge of locking the car up all the time. And me, Simon, Johnny, Adam, Wright, everyone is at the front end of that. It's the same thing as we're fighting each other into the braking zone. It is like we're just, if someone blinks, their foot's going to move enough in order to lock the car up. So everyone has to be at the top of their game.
Absolutely right. Well, I think everyone was at the top of their game tonight. We had a storming evening of racing. Yeah, thank you very much, Jamie. It was great.
Right, no worries.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's to be
stunning.
a service.
Yeah. Anybody you want to shout out to beyond who you've already mentioned before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for putting it on. And thanks to Simon for building a new PC and making me jealous.
Really? Yeah, but he's got no money now.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So yeah, he's got me looking at cases and thinking, oh, I could buy one. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, thanks to you guys. Thanks for all the people that turn up and go through it. It's all good stuff. Me holding up Spencer and Sam or whatever at the start of the race. They don't take that as an inconvenience. They take it as an opportunity. To have a bit of fun. So, yeah. I like playing with their food. I'm happy to be the food.
In that case, we'll let you go and practice, probably for the Clios first, then the V8s second, and then Road Atlanta third. Jamie, no. Nearly did that one on purpose.
Cheers, Clyde. Cheers, Bob.
Yeah, no worries. No worries, Alison. Jamie Wilson, everybody.
Cheers.
Good.
Oh, he's not gone. Yes, he has. There we go. He had to flush himself that time. I missed the click. Right, next into the booth and penultimate interviewee is Alejandro Advani. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Good, Alejandro.
Yeah. So 15th in the first race. Where did you start in the first race? Was that around about
15th?
Right. Okay. So maintained your position in the first one, but you were on the back of a few of the battles, and with other people getting shuffled about, you ended up getting quite a lot of footage. You need to get yourself in a team and get some sponsors, and then you might get some, I don't know, do you get paid? I don't know. But yeah, great racing, and you spent a lot of time racing with JB Dejoux tonight.
Yeah, so first race I took advantage of a pretty decent start, and just there were doors open and I sent it through and got a few places. And I think coming into this race and building through all the races and all the experience, before I was kind of letting faster people through and say, I don't want to get involved, I'm new here, I'll just let you go. And this time round it was, I've been here long enough, I'm going to slam the door and not let you through. You have to try and overtake me this time. And then, yeah, the second race with JB, we had a little bit of a collision, but he held back and we had a really good battle. And then I overshot my pit box a little bit, so I had to reverse, and then he pulled a 3-second gap in the pits, and it was kind of, ruined it. But it was really good. I really like the track. When you nail it, it really flows and it feels really good. So good fun track.
Awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's we were racing here last night, and it's fantastic when you nail it, isn't it? When you get these corners just right, it flows like nothing. It's beautiful. But you drove really well, and you could see that you were enjoying the track, and nice that you got a bit of racing in as well. It's good. It's good to have competition there and have people you can race with. And of course, you know, this league's all about clean racing and respect between the drivers. It emanates through the whole league, and yeah, it's good to see other people coming on board and getting the atmosphere and getting the feel for this league.
Yeah, it's really good fun. I mean, the guys have been looking at some of my traces and sharing theirs to see, you know, what I'm doing a bit differently. I'm not 100% happy in the car, and I've not found a setup that I'm like comfortable with. So it's just trying to build each weekend or each week and find something that works for me. At kind of fighting the car the whole time. But
Well,
Yeah.
it's not unusual for you to say that. So the Elantra this week looked very waggy. The back end looked like it was sailing out on people. You know, on drivers that have driven either all the cars, so they've been around for a while and they've driven all the TCRs, or ones that have driven it for quite a long time. Nobody seemed to have a decent controlled setup for the Elantra. If anything, I think yours was probably the most stable. But you are right. In your pit stop, you stopped for 3 seconds longer than a lot of the other drivers, which is quite a lot of time. So I don't know whether you need to look at what fuel you're putting in it, what fuel you've ended up with.
I
You know.
shot it and had to reverse. That was it.
Well, that'll be it then. Right, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Right,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe that won't happen in the future then. So it's good
Hopefully
to,
not.
yeah, you know, it's good that you can drill it back down to the thing that made the time, if you know what I mean. But it's great watching you race. I mean, you were in the thick of it with JB. You're on the screen at the minute racing with JB. It's, you know, very competitive racing. Hopefully you're benefiting from that education of just racing with people. I found it fascinating to race behind some fast guys. I'm doing it at the minute in the Clio. You know, honing in on the back of the fast car in front and thinking, where's he braking? Where's he turning in? Obviously, I'm screwing it up at times and sailing it into the scenery, but that's part of how you self-educate, isn't it? And you've done really well tonight. You know, 15th in both. No, 15th and 16th. But, you know, you're on the pace. You're finishing well up in the lead lap, as in you're still in contention with the main group, really. And it's very entertaining for us to watch. You've been great tonight.
Thank you. It takes me longer to drop off from the rest of the pack, so I'll take that as an improvement.
Yeah.
And
I would.
getting into
Yeah,
battles
definitely.
as well, so good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look up and look at the obscene amounts of iRating that's ahead of you. You can only learn from these guys. They are the best of the best when it comes to TCR racing. You'll learn so much racecraft from them. I've said it before. Just stick with it. Learn from them. They've got all the advice you'll ever need, and you'll do fine. I'm sure of it. We'll see you up there in the top 10 in no time. I'm absolutely convinced. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Well, just you guys putting on the broadcast, everyone that's racing. Yeah, wouldn't be here, wouldn't be fun without you guys. So yeah, thank you for that.
In
You're
that
very
case,
welcome, our friend.
yeah.
You're very welcome.
Are you familiar with Road America, by the way? Because that's your next visit.
I've probably done a few laps of it on Forza Motorsport 4 like years ago.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I'm taking each track as a challenge. And,
Right, yeah.
enjoying learning them.
Yeah, well, don't forget, practice time is everything. The more practice laps you put in, you just gain so much. But great to see you racing again tonight. And we'll see you next time out at Road America. Alejandro Advani.
Thank you. Take care.
Right, and then last but by no means least, we've got Fiona Siddons in the booth.
Oh,
Good evening, Fiona.
Good evening.
Hello, sweetie.
Hi, Alan.
So we were entertained immensely by the fact that on the first few laps of the first race, you got through a few positions, and then we saw you. Did you outbrake yourself or something, and let a few cars back past you again? But you again finished lead lap in with respectable time to the rest of the group, and nice clean racing. We were mentioning before the race started in anger. You're right up there for winning the Safe Driver of the Season award, which is quite a talent when you've turned 2,666 laps, I think it is at the moment, and you've got 0.01199 incidents per corner. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's a lot of bloody corners, isn't it?
It is. You don't realise how many corners you're going round.
No. I mean, we can't believe how fast 40 minutes goes. Every race, we're absolutely caught out by the fact that it's disappeared so fast. And the same is true for the amount of turns you've done in racing format, plus all the ones that you do in practice and in qualifying. You've done a great job tonight. We saw you thrashing it out at the beginning of both races, giving other racers a really hard time of overtaking you. Fantastic racing.
Thank you. Yeah, race 1, that was my best race. Race 2, got a good start, and for some reason I had Carl and 1 or 2 others looking at it. Turn 1 on race 2 on the first lap. I got a meatball and 4 eggs, but there's no contact anywhere, so just one of those things.
Bizarre.
Well,
Did 3 laps with the meatball, pitted, and then fuel safe to the end.
I did wonder. We didn't spot that in the melee of what was going on.
No.
You were 30 seconds behind everybody at the end, which is unusual. I mean, you were much nearer in the first race. But it's a new track, so there might be the odd landmine knocking about. We used to have them on iRacing once upon a merry
It was
time.
that one at Atlanta. We're going there next week.
Yeah.
We had that massive one at Atlanta. Was it last season?
Huge.
Yeah.
On this main, was it the main straight? I can't remember.
It was just it was going down the hill. If you remember, on the left-hand side, if you're going down that hill.
Into Juncao corner. Yeah.
I'll bet that one.
Yeah, but that's Road Atlanta. We're at Road America, so we're safe from all.
Road America next week.
Yeah, Road America.
Oh, thank heavens.
Yeah, so hopefully you go well there, Fiona. Is it a track that you favour?
I'm not sure how quick I'll go, but I like the track, definitely.
As long as you enjoy it and you've got that bit of competitive racing to keep you interested, then it's all worthwhile. Do you feel like you're learning some better racecraft and gaining some better pace from racing with these guys?
I definitely think so. I think I'm a bit faster than what I was when I first joined your series.
No,
Well, you get comfortable in the car, but you're not losing an awful lot of time. These guys were super fast tonight, and you were well up on the lead lap. I tell you, that takes some doing.
Yeah, that to me that is a win. Keeping on the lead lap.
Really, yeah,
Absolutely.
especially tonight, Pete, because they were flying.
There was, yeah, definitely.
When you look at the I ratings of the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, top 6 cars are all over almost nearly all nearly at 6,000 IR. You've got to say, staying on the lead lap with guys like that over 40 minutes is a massive achievement, and I can only salute you. And you're gonna absolutely annihilate them on that safe driver award, because they're not safe as safe as you. We saw Wobbly use other people's cars to turn around corners tonight. At least you're not doing that. But what a fantastic race tonight, and you've done yourself proud. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, as always, you guys for putting the stream on, Carl for sending the setup over for the track, and everybody else who's racing in the league and everybody watching.
Well, fantastic shout out, and you've raced tonight in what I observed to be one of the most difficult cars to race tonight, because the Elantra looked very, very tail happy, and therefore a bit of a handful for a lot of drivers. You'll see it on the broadcast if you do watch the broadcast back. It's been great watching you race again. Fiona Siddons, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, Pete.
Well, Alan, what a night's racing we've had tonight. We've been absolutely blessed with some of the best racing I've seen in a long time.
Really?
And this track and car type combination has been amazing. What an amazing set of races.
We were blessed tonight. this has been a great season because I think because of the rebalancing of the cars, I really do
Yes.
think that's made a huge difference. But this, we had it, there's a lot of these drivers are fussy drivers. If they don't like a track, they're not shy about telling you. And a surprising amount of them came out with a really positive view of this. I was surprised how many people actually said really enjoyed driving it. Yeah, once they got the flow and the feel of it. And so yeah, I'm glad that they did that because I think it's a fantastic circuit and it's given us a real treat tonight. It's really a great highlight and a great demonstration of the quality of the league. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, occasionally it used to be that when iRacing released a new track, it had quite a lot of issues. People didn't like it. It was too slippy. It was too grippy. One of those two facts being correct. But I think in recent times, when they've been releasing tracks, they've done a fantastic job on the service. And I think given the competitiveness of the racing tonight, it's very level, really. I know people were saying Wobbly was super fast. Yes, he was. And he is on single lap pace. He's very, very fast. But he doesn't convert it into race wins all the time. And the fact that nobody changed car at the opportunity window this season, and I did remind him in the Discord chat, says that the balance of power is about as close as it's going to be. And iRacing should be proud of that, and hopefully they don't mess with it too much in future builds. There's obviously always tweaking to be done, but it's up to them to maintain that level of competitiveness that we've clearly got right now.
Yeah, really good point actually, because you're right. They have put the work in there, and they have got this right, and they do bring in new tracks, and that are always just as good as they're going to be. They're great little circuits. When they bring a new circuit in, it's a mature, finished product. It's not half-baked, is it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. They don't beta release or alpha release any of these. This is, as good as they can get it. And some of the latest ones have been absolutely excellent. But we are left with difficult choices in life, and we've got one of them right now. We've got to choose who our driver of the evening is. Spencer, very good, has got points for winning. He's not won both tonight, so he could get a vote, Where did he finish in the first one? He finished in 5th, so there's people done better than that. Wobbly being one of them. And I can't, argue with my conscience. And therefore, I won't be voting for Wobbly. I probably should. He voted for me in Cleo's once. I think he had an off day and mistakenly shouted my name. Maybe he was fantasizing about something else. Maybe it was on the hub. Who knows?
He was drunk.
Maybe he was drunk, yeah. 2 third places for Sam Blees. Can't go unnoticed. It's good. Good points, good results. I think he could have done better, though. By his own admission, he could have done better. Gary, I think, would have been happy to do better than 6th in the first race. He likes putting high-ticket scalps below him on the finishing order, and he didn't get too many of them in the first race. So, where are we at then? Stephen Walker did better last time out, if I'm being honest. He got a 4th in the first race, a 5th in the second, fairly consistent along the way. Similar to Miguel, 6th in the second race, 2nd in the first. I'm looking down the order and I'm seeing drivers that had great races. Who stood out for me? Who absolutely turned it on? Demis Ticcilar kept everybody behind him at the start of the second race. Came 11th in the first race, but ended up 12th in the second race. It's a massive up and down for me, this one. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to scare myself, because I'm going to salute fast laps tonight, and I'm going to vote for Wobbly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm going to vote for Wobbly. I'm going to put it down to there was nobody else to vote for. Apologies, folks. I'm just trying to excuse myself for this one. But, yeah, sadly, Wobbly's getting a vote.
Right.
Your go. Tread carefully.
Right, I had 2 people on my list. One was Wobbly and one was Demis.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
So I'm going to go with Demis.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
Because I thought his defence in that second race to hold those people back for so long was really outstanding. And it's not about where you come in the race or how many points you score. It's about the driver that impresses you on the night. And he impressed me with his driving, especially in that second race. And that was driving above his normal level. He doesn't normally race with these people so closely, the front of this pack. And he did himself really proud tonight. And he's going to get my shout.
In that case, I think that is a vote extremely well spent, because he accounted himself very, very well in that second race. And that brings us pretty much to a rounded close for tonight. I'm going to find out where we're racing in the Clios, because I've not looked yet, even though I'm racing it in 2 days. Where are we at? Do you know?
No idea.
No
I like
idea.
it to be a surprise.
Well, it's going to be a surprise. It's Donington National.
Well, that's heaven for me.
Yeah, it's
going to be heaven for those cars, Pete.
Yeah, I know. So Clio's at Donington this Friday, 7 p.m. Is the start of broadcasting.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it, because that's turning out to be a tasty little league, to be honest.
Well, you're doing really well,
It's shocking, isn't it?
I'm
Absolutely
supporting
shocking.
you. I'm there shouting for you, my partner here, and racing out of his skin on Friday nights. Fantastic.
Can you believe that I'm only 17 points away from 4th place? That's unreal. Never been known before. I did all right at Snetson, to be fair as well.
You're not getting any gifts either, Pete. You're owning it.
No, I'm doing all right. If I was less crashy, which has always been my problem, then I'd be doing a lot better. And then we have V8s on Saturday. It's the return of the Monsters to the Barcelona historic layout, the good layout without the silly chicane at the end of it. It's going to be amazing. The last time we were out, we got a full course caution. At Belle Isle. I mean, it's Belle Isle, you expect it, don't you? But such amazing competitive racing. We've got Simon Trendle, our current reigning champion, holding on to the top spot, but only by 40 points, which in that league is nothing whatsoever. So tune in for that, absolutely. And then, of course, this series goes to Road America this time next week. And we look forward to hosting for you again. Many thanks to the drivers for such an entertaining night. To the guys on the chat for just a hilarious chat. It would be completely different if you were not there.
It's a great little community on the chat, isn't it?
It's
Now,
brilliant.
Isn't it? People turn up week in and week out, and it's really lovely.
Yeah, I'm going to delete
Great to have that support.
Yeah, I'm going to delete the bit where I voted for Wobbly and driver of the meeting, because that kind of never happened. And many thanks to you, Alan, for joining me in the booth. This is turning out to be one of the most favourite leagues that I've broadcast, and you're a massive portion of that. So thank you very much. I'll bring the broadcast to a close now and let Alan say his good nights, but good night to everybody who's watched and taken part tonight.
Good night, my dears. It's as ever, it's a pleasure to be here with you and enjoy this fantastic racing. We've had a feast tonight, haven't we? And crikey, you can't ask for more than that. And if we can get the same again next week, we'll all go home happy.